all right, everybody. What is up, party people? And happy Sunday, my friends. All right, all right. It's your girl, Welcome to China, and welcome to my channel. And I am kicking it back to y'all with another reactionary video of the day. Today, y'all, we're going to be reacting to what has been going viral aside from all the Britney Spears drama. We're going to get into some more urbanized drama, some Instagram girl drama, some podcast drama. We'll be getting into the Fresh and Fit podcast versus Brittany Renner. For those who do not know, DJ Academics, who is a DJ online, he is basically a YouTuber. He went ahead and did an interview with Fresh and Fit and Brittany Renner. Now, for those who do not know who either people are, I'm gonna go over it with y'all really, really quick so y'all can get the gist. So let me pull my screen right here, right here. If y'all are new here, my name is Welcome to China again. Help me get to 2,500 subscribers. Hit that thumbs up, hit that notification bell, ding, so you know when I'm here. But so this is Brittany Renner. This is her right here. This is like a younger picture of her, but it's like, who is Brittany Renner, the unapologetic media influencer with tons of game. So basically, Brittany Renner she's been an influencer online since I can remember. She's always been super fine. She's always been like super, super pretty. She's from Mississippi. Um, Everybody knows that she's been kind of known as being like, a hoe's hoe, the IG girl of the century. Brittany Renner has also had a baby with PJ Washington. For those who do not know, PJ Washington is a basketball player that was like a rookie that a lot of people didn't know about. And she was known basically for having a baby with a young man who was 20 years old and she's like 29. When she met, she's 26. So she's 6 years older than him and they had a baby together. So it says it's unclear when Renner and PJ first began dating back in February 2019. According to Renner's previous interviews, the two met when she was 26 and the NBA star was only 20 years old. So people were saying basically Brittany Renner was a ho that was trying to get money and basically get a bag. Um, I mean, we all know how the girls do. 18 years, and on the 18th birthday, I mean, it is his. So that was the big thing, hearing about Brittany Renner asking for the $200,000 in child support, all of that. So since her viral interview, she's been transparent about some of her challenges, her mental health. So she always is very unapologetic. She's very in your face, very like just talkative as a person. I'm not gonna go through all this, but she basically claps back at everybody who claps back and talks about her. So this is her. They had her even talking to Deion Sanders' class of boys um, about getting caught up with groupies. She's out and about. I mean, she's definitely one of the girls. You're gonna see how outspoken she is. Fairly soon as we get into it. So let me show you Fresh and Fit. I mean, they're pretty straightforward. I watched the Manosphere, and the Manosphere is basically the group of men on YouTube who are pro men, give or take. And, they're for men. Women shit on men a lot. I'm not going to hold you, some women do, but I'm a pro advocate of men and women. Honestly, I love men. I think men are needed in this world. So I'm not biased. And I used to watch them. I just think they're kind of dumb because the jig is up. This dude, Fit, the fit one, not the short, little chunky one, the fit one, he used to work for the FBI. So he used to be some type of investigator, some type of agent. So he's real clean cut. And then Fit used to live in Barbados and had like a baby. Excuse me, took in a woman and her child and had a bad experience with that, being the stepdaddy and all that. So they both gave up their lives to be fresh and fit and become Fresh and Fit, the podcast. So it's basically these two dudes. And they have a fairly big podcast on YouTube. They interview like multiple different women. But basically, all they do is kind of like shit on women a little bit, tell them how they is, say, this is why women like you are not going to get a man. And they pretty much met their match with Brittany Renner. So I'm not going to keep going on too much about Fresh and Fit. Um, but that's pretty much who they are. So today, DJ Academics, y'all know DJ Academics, he is on the Fresh and Fit podcast quite a lot. So it has been a big sought after interview now that he had Brittany Renner basically in Fresh and Fit confronting each other interview to interview. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this. We're gonna watch this together. It is fairly long. We'll see how much we get through. We're gonna see how much we get into. But they're gonna really set us up and set the stage. So yes, we're waiting. We're here. All right. Love you too. Let's get it. So let me share back. Let me share back. Hey Nicole. All right. Let me get my screen going here. Y'all, I'm gonna have a lot to say about them because first and foremost, the guys are ugly, and I'm gonna tell y'all first, I'm not biased just for women. So if the women say something stupid and the men say something stupid, I'm gonna tell you y'all sound stupid. So first and foremost, it ain't gonna be all you tell these men. I just don't think that they're necessary. I like Kevin Samuels a little bit better. I don't think they're the right mouthpiece to tell men who have issues with women how to get them because I mean, name some lookers themselves. I mean, a lot of weird stuff has came out about them, but that's not what this is for. We're gonna watch the interview. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, and let's watch.
It's like I don't disagree with what she does, like at all. This is what we tell guys. This is how a lot of modern day women operate. It is what it is. This is the game.
Wait, all right, hold on. Let me introduce this. Really.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Welcome to another episode of Off the Record Podcast. Hey, listen, man, I have to do it again, man. Okay, I had to bring towards y'all two different opposing views. I think two people who are
Her face, she's already like these and mother. She's like, oh, these fools. You can already tell she's ready for business. She's a very eloquent speaker. I ain't gonna hold you. She speaks very well. And this is considered like a roast session. I guess you get in them, but they looking a little nervous. I can kind of tell by this one right here. Fit is kind of like, I mean, fresh is kind of like, oh Jesus. All right, so let me watch.
actually three people who hold opposing views. But the great thing about Off the Record, where we try to keep it as uncensored as possible. We're not like fresh and fit uncensored.
We're about to get canceled.
But we tried our best. Okay.
You guys are already canceled.
Also, I have Brittany Renner in the building. I just believe one of the great female voices of our time who could speak for a generation and how women are operating. And, I give her the utmost credit for just being able to eloquently communicate vocally those points, where in other situations, women just quote lyrics and,
That is very true. It's always like, well, why do women act this way? Why do women chase ball players? Why do women chase ballers? Why do women, show their bodies on Instagram? She basically breaks down the whole Instagram girl culture, the new culture that we live in the 20th century. So she is the mouthpiece and she speaks well and she explains it well. So that is very true, what he said.
go to popular cliches nowadays to explain why they do certain things rather than actually have some real substance behind it. So I think this is the first time you guys have met.
Yes.
Right?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think we're gonna have a great debate. Myron thinks different. You've watched a few of their clips. You also see them go viral recently because I was trying to get you on their show. And I think that's the elephant in the room.
Yes.
I think Myron's off you. You know why? They hit me, and these are my guys, by the way. Like they've shown me so much love, I show them love back. They're like, hey, listen, you had Brittany Renner, that was a good episode. Hey, you should see if she wants to come and do our podcast. I did ask her about it. I'm going to be honest, she didn't seem like she was in the know that much, but she was probably getting a bunch of requests from other people. And then you guys saw her do a lot of other podcasts, and it's like, wait, is she ducking
The fade?
are you
So basically, in the podcast world, they know that DJ Academics, who is their friend, I mean, they have, I think, 500,000 or more on. I haven't looked at their subscribers in a couple months. They have a lot of subscribers. So they reached out to Academics like, yo, can you get Brittany Renner on? Brittany Renner has been doing like a kind of like a press run, clearing her name after the PJ Washington stuff, all that. And they were kind of saying, hey, is Brittany not trying to talk about this? She trying to dodge us and not face their heat? Because look at them. Look, look, child, no good.
Are you dunking the goats in misogyny? Okay, are you dunking these guys? What's up?
No, I mean, to be honest with you guys, like my
He's already drinking water out of a gallon. Douchebag alert. Let me stop.
biggest goal was I wanted to hit Holy Trinity first, Fab Five. So I felt like it was you, Kevin Samuels. I did No Jumper, DJ Vlad. And there's one more I'm forgetting too, but I can't.
Damn, no love for Joe Budden.
Oh,
man.
Joe Budden. Shit.
Oh,
well,
man.
he
Yo,
whatever.
Joe, I got you, dog.
Yeah, Joe Budden too. So for me, I just kind of felt like you guys are newer on the scene. You guys only are like a year and a half old. So for me, I just felt like, okay, well, I'm going to go with what I know and what's kind of been around for a long time. And that's kind of how I operate. It wasn't, I'm never ducking anything. That's why I'm here.
That's real though. She's been in the game a lot longer than them. That's very true. She's been in the game for about 10 years in media, give or take whatever you do. So yeah, she did have to go. I feel it.
With you guys today. When academics called me, I was like, consider it done.
She was ready. She was ready.
Because I was just so curious as to what we could learn from each other today.
Ready for all the smoke?
So
there is no smoke, sweetie.
Wait, hold on. And it's interesting you say that because, so, okay, Myron sees, fresh, great idea was don't tell Myron until today. So we walk in, you first see Brittany Renner.
Uh-huh.
And
He's
we're
pressed.
like,
Look at
we're
him. He's
thinking you're probably gonna be
nervous.
like, okay, shit, we're going to have this great debate. But you say,
On top of that, they look nervous. He look a little tight. He look a little nervous, like what's gonna happen. And on top of that, she's so fine. She's very pretty, so inevitably, men gonna be like, dang, she's still fine, fine as hell.
you said initially, like, yeah, I don't think there's much to really, like, debate. Why?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. We've always said it, like, men and women, we're very different. We have opposing goals. Like, girls are trying to, get resources, time, attention out of guys. Guys are trying to get sex. And girls, a lot of the time, are trying to get what they need to get out of dudes without necessarily giving it up. And some girls are good at it, some girls aren't. And then there's other girls that are kind of models for that are good at finessing dudes. And not to say that you're a finesser, I ain't saying that, but girls are able to, run laps around a lot of guys. And that's why our podcast exists, to help dudes out to understand like how women operate and how they move.
Now, you have a different point of view.
Wait. Where do you think?
His explanation of the podcast, I've heard him explain it better than that. You can tell he's nervous.
She fits in that? Because, I think her point of view would be diametrically opposed to you guys by saying, well, I'm not the exact typical person who you may think dudes are running into, or you're trying to tell people to stay away from.
I mean, well, sure, she could tell. She was saying that we're wrong, I guess, about that.
Well,
so you tell us a little bit about yourself. Then.
No, I think you know more about me than I do myself. So you're saying
no,
obviously you do though, because you said that you warn guys about girls like me. So tell me about girls like me.
Just
Humor
women
me.
in general. Like, I mean,
Well, no, but no, don't women in general, because you literally specifically said before we got on here
This was an off-camera
that
conversation.
you did say that
That's true.
you warn guys about girls like me. So now that we're face to face, what kind of girl am I?
Yo, this is the first clip that went viral, and they already starting hot. I didn't think we was gonna get this to midway. So what kind of girl am I? Child.
You're not special. You're like other girls. That's the
I'm
key.
not special.
Like,
So-
you're like other women that are
So
like.
what makes you special then?
I never said I was, but you're trying to say, well, what makes me different from like a lot of women operate the way you do? Which
And
is,
how do I operate?
Women would only date either of them if they had money. He only wears a hoodie. I guess he has a nice body, but we never see it. And he's just already just super, super unattractive. He has a better personality than him, but either way, this is not hidden. So either way, y'all are going to have money. You ever heard the terminate like the man got good penis, no job, no car, but he fine, but he ain't worth nothing? Women, it's still about how you look, honey. So yeah, you can get a fine guy with money too, or you got to have one or the other. I'm just saying.
in general, what I just said before, women, it's a dance between the two genders. Men are trying to get sex. Women are trying to get resources, time, attention, whatever it is that they're looking for. And a lot of girls play the game better than guys. We talk about this openly on our podcast, and we're teaching guys how to not necessarily get finesse and get what they want out of girls, which a lot of the times is intimacy, but they're not able to get it. But girls are easily able to obtain money, time, resource, attention, whatever it is. Girls are running laps around dudes, which is why podcasts like ours exist.
Do you believe that Brittany has been effective in extracting, as you say, time, resources, and other things out of dudes?
Yeah, to a degree, sure. Yeah. I mean, like a lot of girls want to do. I mean, well, here's the thing. You've been so adamant about me being incorrect and I don't know and you don't know me and all this other stuff. Tell me then. Maybe we're off. Who knows?
Well, I think, first of all,
They just flipped the question back on her like, well, tell me if we don't know, because we don't know. what kind of women? They just like the Brittany Renner type of woman. Actually, they should have just picked a random woman who just trying to hustle the boys, like the regular broke girls. She has a whole career, so they already know they're gonna. She lives and looks like that whole life, but she got a whole career, money, all types of stuff. So I don't think this is gonna land how they thought it would.
Let's bring it back a couple notches.
Mhm.
Okay. So there's really a lot to unpack here because my first question to you is, what do you gain from telling girls that they're not special? How does that make you feel? I mean, I know everything is a joke, but I'm asking you a real question. So how does it make you feel? Because if I say you're a bitch ass nigga, that does something for me, right? If I insult you or if I tell you you're not special, you're forgettable, what does that do for me? No, but that doesn't, but that's what I'm saying. No, but I'm saying, what if I call you, if I just say that, again, you're forgettable. That's why I didn't want to do you guys' podcast. Forgettable. Hate the setup. The name is underwhelming. I didn't really see the value in it. Right? That's why.
But that's real. When you really think about it, the people in the podcasting space don't take them serious. Only, I don't be knowing which way because I'm on two screens. Only the people who watch, who are the men who pay, who are the men in, that aren't the best looking, the ones that are still virgins, them type of men who pay for advice with women. Let's just say that. Men that pay for advice with women who just don't innately have it, they're going to look up to them. But these women are not looking for men like that. So it's almost twisted, child.
I feel right. But so that's fine. But for me, that's okay if it wasn't a fit for me. But I also don't need to, in a way, kind of try to devalue what you guys have going on. Because at the end of the day, I may not agree with anything you guys talk about. Because honestly, I feel like when you've seen 2 or 3 videos, you've seen them all. But the reality is that I went to your guys' page and I went to the different links and the different services and the courses that you guys offer. And I do see that there's a place for that. So even though it may not have been in alignment with what I am about, I can still give credit where it's due without trying to devalue you guys, because you guys are doing something special, right? Because you guys are,
oh my God, his face. He felt some type of way when she said that. Look at his face, child. His face. Because that's true. They're not like a Kevin Samuels, a Joe Budden, the DJ Academics. These are like highly sought after podcasts. Like, you have a true brand. They're not there yet. So she said, let's be real here.
At the end of the day, I may not agree with anything you guys talk about. Because honestly, I feel like when you've seen 2 or 3 videos, you've seen them all. But the reality is that I went to your guys' page and I went to the different links and the different services and the courses that you guys offer. And I do see that there's a place for that. So even though it may not have been in alignment with what I am about, I can still give credit where it's due without trying to devalue you guys, because you guys are doing something special, right? Because you guys are, are there a lot of other people doing what you do? You could consider your guys' podcast special, right?
I think what she's mentioned is like the self-help portion for dudes, where you guys offer.
They are still not saying anything.
Either attract
like
or
they don't know what to say.
To women and
how
really engage with them at a higher rate. That
oh my God!
Potentially date them, right?
Yeah.
I guess the point
they
that
just
I
said,
think she's disagreeing with, right? When
they literally didn't interject, yell like they usually do. They did not know what to say. Y'all, they be yelling, screaming at the women on the show. They had nothing to say. This is really actually funny. I didn't think it was going to be that bad.
I'm simply asking her to tell us about herself because we were so incorrect. So tell us about yourself. That's all I'm saying. And then she just went into attacking us. And
no one's attacking you, because like I said, I never listen. There's a lot of people that will not sit down and have a conversation with you just because of the comments that you guys made. Well, you made. And you chimed in. So you guys are Tweedledee and Tweedledum kind of, right? So I'm here to have a conversation with you guys, because for me, I feel like what a lot of male dominated podcasts are missing is the bridge of understanding. So I came here not to argue you guys or to call you out of your name or to disrespect what anybody's doing, because I felt like the interview I had with him, there were things that he said I didn't agree with, but I wanted to sit down and hear his point of view. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So for you to say you're not special, well, I'm special to someone.
Yes, and yes. And Fresh and Fit on the slew of ugly, horrible ass things they done. They've already said that they don't date black women in general. They don't even care what color, what whomever, whatever you come from. Technically, Brittany Renner is biracial, but this is still, Myron him said that he don't go for any Barbadian man. He's still down with a little bit of chocolate, I feel. But yeah, they're haters of their own. So that's just crazy.
Just like you're special to someone, just like he's special to someone. So for you trying to generalize all groups of women, then we would have to take it back to where this even began. Like why you even have this view of women. And like I said, you have a bunch of dumbass bitches on your guys' podcast, and I get it. They don't.
Yeah, they do not bring women on their podcast. They only bring OnlyFans girls that have no substance, or women who are online showing their bodies with no substance. Like, it's the girls who are dumb as rocks who are doing this, because on No Jumper and on different platforms they have women who are in the sex industry that are smart as a whip, but they pick the dumbest women to dominate in Miami. She about to get into it though. She's saying everything we've been thinking.
Challenge you, and I know you're a really smart guy, but it's like I feel like you need to kind of just be honest and show people who you really are. Like, I know that for people to be dragging you guys and take this little clip and say that's who you are, that's not true. So that's why I sat down and had this conversation. I'm not here to degrade you. So when you make comments, I'm saying when you make comments like, oh yeah, no women are special. So no woman is special, but yet you guys have a whole podcast dedicated how to get women just for sex. That's all you guys are. So you're saying men are just limited to just sex. That's all they care about is sex. Yes or no? That's all you guys care about. There's no emotional need. It's just.
And actually think about that. How thoughtful a man has to be, whether he struggles with women, whether he's a virgin, whether he's a reject from society, whatever women don't really look for. You have to have some type of care to want to get a woman if you're going to pay for a course. So they're just giving bad information, bad advice to men who actually want a relationship, or who actually want a woman.
Just my dick, cum, sex, I want a hole.
Wow, you are triggered, man. Wow.
I think also
she wanted a whole right there.
Honestly, it's just.
So, see, they call out things like she's triggered, all that. She's not triggered at all. She just was stating her facts. But see, that's their defense mechanism.
I speak with conviction.
So to
Speak
kind
with a
of
lot
like
of emotion.
So to
Conviction.
kind of like lob the ball
Emotion.
over the net.
It was not
I think
emotion,
she's speaking
actually.
About when you got.
Yeah, but we see DJ Academics will also get into it too with the ladies. So he doesn't let off on women either. But see, Myron, she gonna tear you up, dog.
Guys do speak on your podcast, speak in generalities a bunch, right? Use statistics. These things would convey what seemingly is the majority of what people see in society. I think she seems opposed to that because that doesn't really truly represent what each person's about, right?
Yeah, I mean, for you to say girls like me.
So, you want to get
Uh-oh, it's ad time. Y'all already know.
hired before summer?
It's a good old ad time. It's ad time.
Okay, well, I'm assuming if I go off of what people have said about me, I'm a gold digger who finessed my boyfriend who I lived with and wanted to marry me and still would want to have more kids with me if I wanted to stay with him. I finessed him, and I guess I'm a gold digger. And so all girls
right,
like
let's
that.
bring this back full circle because you're speaking with a lot of emotion right now. And to be honest, you're not really making a point. I said at the top.
See, he thought it was going to fly, and it's not even being biased to men and women. They made no points, and she's making a lot. That's why they're getting this backlash, child. Child. And this young man here, y'all, he is always here trying to hustle and bustle on me. You are so funny. Sweetheart, it's okay.
Men and women, it's a delicate dance between the two genders to get what they want. Correct? I said men want sex, women want resources, attention, money, time, whatever it is from a man. It changes per girl. Some girls want money, some girls want attention, some girls want time, or some girls want a hot guy, whatever it is. But there's a multivariate requirement from women of what they want. Men typically it's just sex. So in that regards of intersexual dynamics between men and women, I'm saying you're not special because you're like every other girl. You want to get resource, time, attention, or whatever it may be, commitment from a man, and a man wants to get sex from you. So when it comes to that, we're talking about biology of what.
Innately, what is wrong with that? That's how it has always been. In the 20th century, in new time, women are now just encouraged to work and to go 50-50. And back in the day, men just paid and provided for everything. And it's still a method to that madness of stay-at-home wives and men being providers and all those things. Like, what is wrong with that? That's innately what men want to be and what they're put on this earth to be. So I don't get it.
Men want from women. You are not special. You are just like every other girl, just like I'm every other guy. The difference is this. I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm special. I'm Myron Gaines. I can do this and that. We said all the time, city boys up, like we don't sit here and try to make ourselves look special. We're regular guys. We want sex. It is what it is. But women run around and say, I'm special. I'm different. It's like, nah, bro, y'all don't live in reality a lot of times. You guys say, I deserve that. I deserve this. I'm special. Someone looks at me as special. Like, bro, at the end of the day, you're a woman. I'm a guy. You are playing the game.
They're speaking in generals.
I'm playing a game to get what I want.
But it's Brittany Renner. She's the ultimate rich hoe, if you want to say it like that.
I'm special. That's what I'm talking about. You could say you're special in other regards, but I'm talking about between men and women. That is the game. That's how it is.
No, hold on. Just real quick. So there's a lot of articles about you, right, out there about things that you do or they say that you do.
We got a couple comments. Nicole said, at this point, honestly, don't feel bad for rappers and athletes. So that's the point. So, you know, they have more resources. I mean, hell, I feel like everybody at this point can get resources or, hey, can I get a condom or whatever. But listen, hey, that's on them. Not true. Some women has always had to work. That's fair. What I was speaking upon, I'll be a little bit more clear. You know, he was saying, well, this is all that women want is this, that, third, to be taken care of, have a provider. But innately, that is women's nature. I know that some women and a lot of women do have to work because we do not have that luxury. And yes, especially Black women. But in a general sense, if these women or women of any race would like to be taken care of or have that option, I would take it, as I would feel a lot of women. Some women want to be completely independent, but I do know what they were saying is not true. Women, if given the opportunity, would love that. Majority. I know it's a small percentage who won't, but that's how I feel. I thought it was an interesting interview. We trying to work through it. Let's see.
Obviously speaking, there are articles. It could be fake. It could be, who knows? It's an agenda being pushed there, right? So we're asking you, tell us about you, who you really are.
Because you said we're wrong.
Because we can assume off of articles, but that may not be true. Just like you said earlier, a clip may not be us.
We have heard so much about Brittany Renner over the years. How do y'all not know? Why are you keep making her say
the biggest thing that people have wrong about me is that it's always been money motivated, and that for me, I'm not gonna lie, if I was a gold digger, I'd be a really fucking stupid one. Okay. So I think that what's the most hurtful is that what I want when I think about a relationship and a man is I do want the commitment. I do want someone to travel the world with, spend time with, build a family with. And I genuinely feel like, you know, one of the messages that I pushed early on when I was on Instagram is like, I'm the biggest man hater. Fuck these guys. But really, in reality, you have to want a man. You're gonna have to have that mentality. I need a man to create this type of life that I'm wanting. So I think like it has just been really hurtful to be accused of like, money makes me happy. This is going to be it. And I've had all of that. I had money on my own. I had a man with money, and it wasn't enough.
Right.
It wasn't enough. So I think for me, I don't know. I just feel like a naive girl, to be honest, because I do believe that there are good people who want the same things that I want, but I just have not met that guy that we're on the same page where we both want commitment. We both value the relationship outside of sex, outside of what we could create together too. Because even outside of that, in my mind, it
seems like her story was just a story of a man and woman that didn't work. They both had money, they both had resources, and it didn't work out. But they placed it as her being a gold digging Instagram girl, athletic model, and a basketball player because he's a basketball player. But he was just a rookie. I mean, they act like she brushed up on who's single right now. I don't even know, like LeBron or something. If he was single, like he was not balling out the gym that hard. Like people knew her by name more than him. Just saying.
Still, like, where's the magic? Like, why be in a relationship if it is just so black and white? Like, oh, it's just sex. Oh, it's just I have a roof over my head. I get this lifestyle. That's it. I'm supposed to be happy.
So you want a connection?
I think all of us long for that. I don't want to generalize all of us.
And she said this a lot in Victory Begins in the Garden. Yes, she put herself out to be used. That's what she says. She's stupid. If she was trying to, she's the dumbest ever. I just don't think that she makes the most wisest life choices. And we've seen that from her, even when she was making how to get a baller videos and just like her Instagram stuff. She's always been wild. Everybody knows she's always been out of line. So, yeah. And I did see that as well. It wasn't the 200,000, but she gets a lick a month. Yeah. I don't want to quote which one, but yes, I did see that too.
And say like, oh, that makes everybody
Most
happy. But I think generally most people do long for a connection, and that's been me. And yes, I've kind of probably sought that in some questionable characters, but I think that's where my lens is just a little different, where I feel like you really don't know a person until you know a person. So just because someone plays basketball, why would I assume, oh, he's never going to be faithful to me? Because that's a generalization. And that's not healthy either, because not everyone is like that.
So I understand your point of view a little bit more now. Question for you. Do you regret posting online stuff about men that you said in the past? Because I feel like that paints a picture of you. And then say, you know what? Damn, she might finesse me if I get with her.
That's a point. And that's why I like Fresh better than Fit. He just seems like he just had no play with no women. He just has an innate resentment towards women. I feel like he's kind of fell into his place. I heard that he trick on the ladies. Honestly, I heard he don't be giving nothing up, but I heard he'll get down with some of the women. So he asked better questions, and that also brought up in the comment, like, wasn't she saying about the gold diggers with no money? So good question. All right, let's get into that.
So I'm gonna play a game with her.
I think a lot of things that I posted did not age well. I can't go back about anything I said. I think the biggest thing I can do now is lead by example and kind of, show women if you want certain things, you can't really do certain shit.
She still needs to change her brand. She still wouldn't be somebody that I would look up to because she's still an unmarried baby mother. I know she's like rich and all that, but it's still, she's about to be 30, unmarried, and she got a baller baby daddy. It's kind of the same dynamics that we're trying to cut out, and the curses that we're trying to stop. So I mean, she's still adding to it, but I don't think the rich people and celebrities are even in this everyday conversation for us. But
you can't say that men ain't shit, but then you want a husband. It's counterproductive. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
Would that also go into, because what they also say on their podcast is, for example, if you're a woman who's interested in later having a husband and a family, if you're posting certain pictures, if you're doing certain activities.
But also, when women watch that video of Brittany Renner talking about the gold diggers and the athletes, let me see if I can find this really quick. Everybody's gonna say, like, is that a lie? Is that a lie? I don't think that that's a lie, that athletes of unfortunately athletes in our race are lick. I mean, it just always seems to be that way. So this is kind of true. I'm not gonna hold you. The black men athletes, low key, they do be getting hidden licks by women of all races. Okay, yeah. Finally, some real questions. True, she's a gold digger who reformatted herself now. That's true as well. When she became a mother, I believe she changed. That's the point. That's very much so a point. Let me pull this for y'all really quick. So this is the video everybody was referring to for reference.
Are the athletes. None of them use condoms really. So if y'all really want first people to deal with are the athletes. None of them use condoms really. So if y'all really want to try to come up off a check off a man, I mean, you could just fuck an athlete. They're really dumb.
And that's what she did. So I mean, nothing she said was a lie. Is it right? No, but is it true? I'm not gonna hold y'all. It is definitely true. Just saying.
If you're, for example, publicizing that you've been with a bunch of other dudes,
Right.
you're greatly reducing the percentage of dudes who would be attracted to that.
I take you serious.
Yeah. So that's
I don't even think she's reducing. If we're referring to her, I don't think she's reducing at all, because millions of men would gladly give her their money, athletes and all, and say, baby, it's okay. So I still don't even think this is a relevant conversation for Brittany Renner.
they use.
I think that from a general standpoint, I think that is a fair perspective. Absolutely. I think there are a lot of guys who, first of all, we all have our own insecurities that we're working through. Second of all, you add social media and then you're posting your body or you're posting certain things. Yes, you're going to weed out your options naturally, depending on the guy. Now, I do think that when you, like I am, I'll just have used me as an example. when you're out here like me, you're going to have to get a guy who doesn't give a fuck either, who doesn't care what they say. And to be honest, at this point, at this stage in the game, it does feel like a unicorn. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to settle or I'm going to give up or I'm going to think, well, no man's ever going to take me seriously.
Somebody will take her for sure. I think when PJ saw her, it was just like, oh my God, this is Brittany Renner. He was 16 looking at Brittany Renner, 15, 14. He's younger than me. So listen, he's been looking at her and idolizing her for a long time. While you're here, hit that subscribe button, y'all. I'm on my way to 2,500 subscribers. Follow me on Instagram at WelcometoChynna, and let's continue on.
I just haven't met the right guy. So it's like, yeah, from the general standpoint, there are probably a lot of people that would not give me a chance. But that's okay. That's one less heart to break, like whatever.
All right, so I'll say this real quick, because you mentioned like mainstream media tries to paint you in a certain light, being a gold digger or whatever. If you watched our show, then you would know that we actually tell girls all the time, get the best guy that you can get. Here's the reality. We understand women like you. We know how women like you operate. It is what it is. We actually tell guys all the time, yo, girls are going to want the biggest, brightest, and best deal that they can get when it comes to men. Hypergamy is a real thing. Women date up, and we accept that and we acknowledge that. Here's the reality.
Point, though.
That wasn't my point.
But here's let me bring it full circle. The point.
See, I appreciate DJ Academic still being here as a man and as somebody who is a strong male voice. Like, this is still not making sense what y'all are trying to misconstrue. All this is going to show us is that these men are frauds.
And is this? She's saying mainstream media is trying to paint you as a gold digger or whatever. The reason why they do that is because most guys think men and women are the same. They think they're equal. They think, oh my God, this is a travesty. This woman wants to date a guy just because he has money and he has affluence and he's popular. No shit, Sherlock. But we live in a world now where we tell men and women, you're the same and you can do everything, and women are supposed to like you for you. We acknowledge these uncomfortable truths that women love opportunistically, men tend to love idealistically. Girls want a guy that is better than them. It's been that way since the beginning of time. But in the West, in general, United States, where feminism is strong and women tend to be looked at as equals, any woman that reverts to kind of what you're doing, which is like, hey, I want a guy that has his shit together, which there's nothing wrong with that. We actually applaud women that exercise that ability and use their looks to get the best man, because that is your ultimate weapon. It's not your education. It's not your career. It's not how much money you make. So we actually agree with women like you, and we actually understand.
So if you agree and you understand, then why are you shitting on the women then if hypergamy is a real thing? The idea of dating up is real. I am in a hypergamous relationship. I have always been told, date if they don't have more than you, what are you doing? That was what was told to me by my grandmother. So I believe in hypergamy. I know that it's a thing, and especially innately in our culture, as Black women, listen, I'm gonna get where I need to be, and hey, if it's with a man, with me, whatever, our family, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. So I don't believe there's anything wrong with dating up or hypergamy whatsoever.
Understand where it's coming from. The reason why mainstream media can't accept it is because they think men and women are equal. They think they're the same. So they look at it like, oh my God, it's crazy. She just wants to date a guy because he's popular, he makes money. We accept that and we know that over here on our side of the internet. It's just that mainstream media is not going to like it because they're not used to a girl leveraging her beauty to get the best guy that she can get. We know that on our side. And that's what we teach guys. This is how very attractive women operate. They're going to use their looks and their ability and, I don't want to say manipulation, but I guess you could say manipulation because girls have a lot more game than guys. That's what game typically comes down to get the best guy that they can get. And it is what it is. You just need to know how to operate and move around that, So we understand these uncomfortable truths that men and women are not the same. And here's the thing. We know we're not here to shame you for it. Like, it's kind of funny because like people say, oh, do Fresh and Fit shame women for exercising their options? No, we just tell guys this is how women really move. But mainstream media isn't ready for that.
Is that a fair depiction of how you go about trying to get with the guy? Like you're using and leveraging what you have going for you to get the highest value guy, essentially.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Let me say this too. A lot of girls, the only difference between you.
Actually, Brittany Renner had a lot more to bring to the table than I did, or than a lot of women do who are trying to date what she has. I mean, men just want somebody who can stay at home if they're rich enough, and if the woman is good, to somebody who's smart to watch the kids. They don't look at women's money and all that. So I agree. It's about how your intelligence, you as a person, can you be a good mother to my children, and are you submissive? Like men who are innately wealthy and rich, like listen, that 1% of men, that's what they want. So she already brings enough to the table. They probably not even thinking about the gold digging aspect. If you have enough money, men with money don't even think about this.
These other girls is you're open about it. You're
Exactly.
honest about it.
You're honest
Yeah.
about it.
And people can't handle honesty. And it's kind of funny because they try to crucify people like me and you because we're both honest in what we do. I'm honest about how we move and how guys need to move to adapt to the new dating marketplace. You're honest about, hey, all these guys ain't worth shit. This is how you move and you leverage your beauty to get out what you want. Like we're on opposing ends of the spectrum of you're helping the girls get what they want and I'm trying to help the guys get what they want. But I understand where you're coming from. But mainstream society doesn't understand people like us because we're honest.
And one last
Right.
point. We brought on Blue Jasmine on our show, right? Everyone's bashing her and saying, oh, you're this, you're that.
We agree with her.
We agreed with her. we validated her points. Yo, we got you. We understand. So
Now, she was tripping on certain points, though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
And they agreed with Blue Jasmine. If anybody watches in the podcast like world and listen to podcasts, Blue Jasmine was just another girl who's a hustler. Like, take the niggas for their money, take them for what they got. If they don't give you no money, then you don't need to be messing with them. She one of those type of girls. She's dumb as rocks. So they're agreeing with her over Brittany Renner. And Brittany Renner is a lot more intelligent to her. Take my word for it, child. They dumb.
She told you. Did she tell you about the point that if she breaks up with a guy, she expects her ex-boyfriend to pay her bills?
well, we understand the mentality, but we don't say
Bro, we said,
okay.
we're just
we,
saying.
we said when she said that shit, I was like, bro, 80 to 90% of girls think that way. They just will never admit
say
it.
So we give her props. You
Really?
know what? Got you.
A lot of girls feel that way. And that's why I say that because we live in a world now where men are, assumed to be like equal to women and vice versa. So girls can't really exercise, hey, I want to just be able to depend on a guy, even though deep down, that's what they want.
Is that a modern?
We are looking for talent. The hottest tech companies have hundreds of thousands of positions.
Way of thinking for most women, or is it like just always kind of been like that?
Feminism, bro. Because what feminism has done is it's come in and it's told women you need to chase a career, chase a bag, make money. But the reality is we know from the studies and we just know in general from a big predicator on female happiness is
They just if this is really what they're standing on fundamentally, which is what I agree with, and why I watch some Kevin Samuels or some manosphere things that women work smarter, work harder, not smarter. Women want to be men in relationships. A lot of things that I agree with. These people are not giving the right depiction of what this should be like whatsoever. I'm referring to Fresh and Fit. It makes no sense the way that they bring. If this is what you agree with, then why are you giving everybody a hard time about it?
a family and children. It's not a career and making money. And we've brought so many girls on our show that are in their 30s, whatever. They break down and cry in tears, bro, on air. I wish I got married. I wish I had kids, blah, blah, blah. Because they have this money, they have the success. But women don't derive the same pleasure from success like men do because men were built for this. Like if you don't produce as a man,
They're literally,
you're
they're just spewing out what Kevin Samuel says.
based on what you create. Like men are based on what they create from like outside in the world. Women are based on what they create inside their bodies, bringing children to life. Like that's what women do. And that's what men do since the beginning of time. But we live in this crazy world now where we try to say men and women are the same. Women should go ahead and chase a career, but it leaves a lot of women unhappy. Like one in
The
four women now runs
option,
around on
exactly.
antidepressant and anxiety
Option.
medication
Mhm.
because they
And
chase
dog
this career and this money, but it doesn't actually give them fulfillment. You know, how many rich girls do you know? I mean, me and you both know that make money and they're sad.
Yesterday.
Well, the ones I know is because they're doing OnlyFans and they're compromising their character. Like
But even lawyers, bro, like really successful women that go to school and make it, they make a lot of money and they're still not happy because.
Well, I would say it's a trade-off, right? So, like, you know, if someone, you know, kind of neglects the
Yeah, if we're talking about social media world, celebrity world, and lawyers, listen, I know the 38-year-old lawyer woman can still find her a man at the firm that's going to date her. Did we just watch Insecure with Molly? I mean, Molly wasn't in her late 30s, but excuse me, I had to sneeze. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. Molly has done those things, and she's a black woman. So these situations exist as well. I think they're just referring to the modern world that we live in, of celebrityism being in our face all the time.
social life, neglected dating, didn't really kind of see what's out there because they're focused on school. And I mean, it goes from both sides. I think there's a lot of doctors who really miss out on social life. They get to the end of the rainbow in terms of getting to their career, and they're 34 years old. They've never dated and had the experiences that maybe somebody who's 21 who didn't and was on a different track had. So, what do you think about that, though, Brittany?
I mean,
We throw a lot out there.
Well, yeah, that was like a lot
That was a
to.
whole lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. But I mean, honestly, I think what's tough too. I think just like as men, you know, he was saying, you know, it's about what we can create outside. It's about what we can do, what we can bring to the table, I guess. Which is kind of sucks because men are like their value is based on what they can put on the table, right? And we're not even looking at the actual man internally. We're just like, well, if you don't make this, you don't make that, you're not shit. Like men are kind of pushed to just work and slave and are kind of forced in a position where if you don't make a certain amount of money, you just are worthless to society. And that's something I don't like. I don't like that. You know, I mean, of course it's like, you know, how can we change that? But
There is no changing it. We can cry about it, man.
No,
but
but like, listen though, because it's like, yeah, the reality is like, oh, we can cry about it. We can, yeah, but the reality is that why do we just brush it off like that? Because what I've noticed about you is you're very militant. So like, I don't know your background, but I just kind of feel like it's very, oh, well, get over it. This is how it is. Cry about it if you want. But it's like, okay, but what about?
Yeah, he has no empathy and he doesn't come from a place of love or actual care. Myron, the one that used to work for the government employee, him, the FBI guy, whatever he used to work for. Um, and when it comes to relationships and dating, you got to have all those things. So yeah, I believe that. Like the way that his delivery is awful, and they sound literally just like Kevin Samuels.
About the person under that, like at what point in time, like, because as a man, if I put myself in a man's shoes and I'm having a hard time getting women, I'm not making a lot of money, I feel worthless to society, nobody wants me, like how am I really gonna treat women when I do get these things? I'm gonna look at you guys as objects. That's not healthy either, because I feel like men are more than what they just bring to the table. And I think for me with women, like where I'm at now, an uncomfortable truth for me is I would be considered trophy pussy. Like I have to filter through, like, yes, I can leverage my beauty and get the highest bidder. But the reality is like we both want each other because I'm who I am. You can do what you do. But we can leverage and come together and get whatever we want out of that. But we're still missing the point here, which is the magic, like the romance, the love, the connection. Like at what point we can spit out statistics all day. We can talk about this is what men are to society. This is what women are to society. We're supposed to bear children. You guys are supposed to bring the bread in. But it's just like, okay, that's great. What about the other shit though? Are you guys in relationships?
So Brittany,
No, are you guys in relationships?
Yeah, that's this is a point, and I also have an issue with taking advice from people who are unmarried or not in a serious relationship, because it's like we're all just talking in circles. So that's why I was like, you know, I would kind of take relationship advice from Brittany Renner, but I've had a more successful and long-term relationship leading to marriage in right now than Brittany Renner. She just is rich, so you know, it's a give and take. Let's be real here. And also, when we create those transactional relationships with men and women, it's no connection. And if people are watching and learning that women are supposed to be like this, men are only supposed to be like this, it's not going to be any love. People are just going to connect just because they're men and women. And what's the fun in being in love? It's still a reason. It's still a funness to it. It's a reason why. Like, that's the point. It's not just about all this.
Relationship, I'm asking.
Hold on, just real quick.
No, are you in a relationship?
Many. You got a very good point there, right? You said it's not fair or it's not cool that guys looked at as success objects, right? So let me ask you this question: are you gonna date a broke nigga?
Okay.
Yes or no?
That's a profound. That's a no. That's a fuck.
No. I'm just curious.
So if
It's just like Fit has nothing to say. The Myron guy, the one that's balding, Fresh is asking the only questions. He's to say, "Well, would you date the broke nigga?" Like that's the question.
listen, the reality is
Yes or no?
if I can create X lifestyle for myself,
Yes or no?
why would can I finish my point?
Go ahead.
Okay. If I can create X for myself and I have my house, I have my car, why would I be with someone who at least doesn't have those things?
That's the whole point here.
Bam.
So you just said earlier, why does it matter if guys is successful or not? It should be the connection. It should be all that stuff. That's great and all, but in reality speaking, if guys don't have things on the table to be for security, you're not gonna date them.
But my thing is why would I want to be with someone who doesn't prioritize themselves? I know. Listen. I know what we're saying because we're saying, oh, this is about we were talking about what guys bring to the table, what they can bring to the table. But the reality is I can look at somebody, regardless of their financial status, in a different way if I have my own things. And the reality is, if he's in the gym, he has his gallon of water, right? Is he wrong for not wanting to be with a girl who doesn't drink enough water a day, who has her pH balance is off, who's not taking care of her body? Is he wrong for not wanting that? No, because that's what the standard of his life. There's nothing wrong with that. So that's just kind of how I feel.
You're missing the point. What he's simply trying to
And he don't want to listen to her point at all.
illustrate here is that there's a barrier to entry. You're not even going to give a guy an opportunity if he doesn't meet a certain financial requirement that you have brought upon yourself, which is fine. We talk about this all the time. Women don't date down socioeconomically.
Yeah, see, it's like they're talking like they know her. And academics, thank you, because I was just about to interject and be like, Brittany Renner actually might take a man to make 200,000 a year, or now 2 million or 100,000. Like, she can definitely get there. So her dynamics might be different specifically for her of what she's looking for, because she is really actually love focus based. It seems like now that she's an older hog. Okay.
Almost ever. However, men will gladly do it if the roles were reversed and you didn't have your stuff together financially, but a man did. He would gladly take you in. And they would date you. Hell, you've been in relationships with some pretty, up there guys, and they didn't care about how much money or whatever you brought to the table, because men and women are very different. We don't care about what you bring to the table financially or status-wise, but women do. So you can say, and this is kind of the difference.
If you're a black woman and you're dating somebody with less, stop. Stop. Equal or more. Stop it. Don't do it. I'm gonna leave that there. I agree.
Between men and women, like, women get the privilege of living in a Disney fairy tale of take me how I am, and this shouldn't be this way, and this is fucked up. Men don't get that privilege. We have to accept the cold hard reality that what you bring to the table determines your worth. You either do
Kevin
it or you
Samuels,
don't.
Kevin Samuels.
Become
They
successful
sound like
and women
Kevin
are a byproduct,
Samuels.
or you don't, because
She's
girls
already
like
been
you,
on
you're
Kevin
highly successful
Samuels'
yourself.
show.
You're out there and
The fact that Kevin Samuels had her on his platform to have a sit down conversation where he wasn't bagging on her, he wanted to understand. And Kevin Samuels, they went to lunch and talked. He gets her grind, and he knows the method of her madness too. So
limelight, you probably have brought put a pretty good life together for yourself. You're not going to accept a man that is financially inept or doesn't have his shit together, which is fine. That's the way it should be. But men don't have that same barrier. So what I'm trying to say is that your own preferences yourself show that men must perform. And here's the other thing.
all platforms damn near talk about black women. So I'm not sure. I mean, Kevin had the average at best. I mean, she was black. He didn't say nothing about her being black. They talk about black women in specific, like they say black.
You're pretty successful yourself. I'll tell you, there's average girls that are competing for the same men that you're competing for, and there's average girls that have similar standards of what you want. Trust me, we're in Miami, we're in New York. We see a lot of women have very high standards. So as a guy, being average is not good enough anymore. You have to rise to a certain level. So we can say should, could, would, whatever it is, but the reality is men must become, and it is what it is. That's guys got to accept the truth.
Do you see their point that I don't even think I got to paraphrase it. Basically, they're saying that you have a standard, but for guys, usually that standard doesn't exist.
I like the way that they just broke it down. Like, I totally get what they're saying. Absolutely. Because I mean, it's just like, okay, so you guys have this barrier, but we don't, so I totally understand.
And here's the thing. Yeah. We acknowledge this, and we understand that women date up, and it is what it is. We accept it, and it is
very, very true. You got to be fine and be Brittany Renner fine to get all that on a dime. So let's be real here. Yeah, you got to be top tier fine. So that's why I feel like that's why I never gave Kevin Samuels a hard time, because I knew you got to be a 10 and still be bad. That's why the bro girls who are still pretty as hell or struggling models had the athletes, had the rich men, had the men who were executives, because they still look good. And that's what men with money like. So it's dynamics. It's a give and take, and it ain't nothing wrong with that. Because you got the bread, and all I got to do is be fine. All right. And for women, that's okay. And for men, they innately make more money than us. So it's okay. They get it.
It is what it is. So we tell guys all the time, you need to become successful for your
Sorry, I keep interrupting. The last thing I'm going to say is these men, they came into their money. The most money they've made in their lifetime, in their lives, is being on the Fresh and Fit podcast. Kevin Samuels was a man with money for a long time and had been a high value man for years on end. So he's really speaking from experiences. The high value men don't even really let these type of men around them because they're not real, they're fakes.
Yourself, and then women are a byproduct of that. Now you were saying, well, are guys going to resent women when they become successful, blah, blah, blah? Some guys might. I ain't gonna lie to you. Some guys might be like, fuck, took me forever to make this money. I'm gonna pay this chick now $1,000 and piss on her. I don't fucking know. Some guys be weird on it. So some guys do.
Yeah.
But we tell guys like, bro, this is why I tell guys all the time, yo, don't get married or get a serious relationship until you have had a couple of girls that you've dealt with so that you understand how women operate, how they think. You know, you might get finessed 1 or 2 times. You know what I'm saying? You got to take a couple L's because that way you'll be able to see what you like, what you don't like, what you're willing to tolerate, what you're not willing to tolerate. And then you're going to have a good body of evidence of how women maneuver and operate. And I know you're saying like women are special, whatever. I'll be honest. You guys are very pretty similar when it comes to like, you know, dealing with girls and how they move and everything else like that. Women are very emotional creatures and guys need to be able to see the different patterns and habits that women have. And this isn't to knock you or knock all the ladies in the studio, but women on a balance of averages operate a certain way, especially when they deal with men. So,
and you asked a very important question just now. You asked us, hey, are fresh and fit in relationships, right? So get this. For men and women, it's different because for us, we can have multiple options and choose the best one and wait.
See, if you're going to have this conversation, still giving men advice, you need to have already been at that status, dated, did all that, and you should be done with this. I feel like people who still are having these conversations about dating and marriage should be married, giving us this advice, or have already reached the precipice, or at least have been married before, or be 50 years old like Evan Samuels had 2 wives. All right, I'm not married now. All he gonna tell us is he's fucking around with a bunch of women. And it's different because men could date a bunch of different women, but it's still, they're not bringing nothing.
For women,
No standards.
there's
That's true.
on like a time clock.
They don't
So,
even know what their
listen, bring it
standards
back
are.
A little bit. I was dating this girl, right? And I can know who it is.
Oh, man.
Met her on a yacht, right? And I spoke to her for like an hour and a half. Spoke about different goals, what she.
Want to join the 6-figure club? Google and other tech companies are hiring.
And I said on the podcast, in my life where I had some type of success, some type of like security that she could see, and she liked that, right? Personality wise, on point, dope person, cool personality. We could just vibe, have fun, go to the park, walk dogs, and it was an awesome experience. That connection was there, even though she had a crazy past of like TikTok videos talking about men, she hates men, all that stuff. But personality wise, it was there. So I saw past the videos of who she really was. Now, in your scenario, people paint a picture of you saying, "Oh, you're the gold digger, you're this bad person, whatever." You're probably a great person.
I say you're smart.
Yeah,
we say it all the time. Smart.
But how your past actions.
What I tell you, that's his type right there. Yeah, he liked the Brittany Renners. He likes the IG girls and all that. They had a picture with him kissing a man. I'm not the type to be like, you're gay. This is it. You look a suspect. He's so hateful and resentful. I'm like, child, what is up with you? He do look like one of them confused brothers that might have something like something else. He like Brittany Renner. Look, he got on this chain and his earrings. Okay, listen, he like him a little Brittany Renner. I ain't gonna hold you. If Brittany Renner was trying to get with him, he'd go.
Kind of like come out to haunt you for what you did in the past. Now, my question to you is, how are you gonna move forward to get past those hurdles? Because like even for her, that whole TikTok pass, it messed up what we had going on because the internet took it and ran with it. But the point is, I'm asking you, how are you gonna move past your past videos and past actions, you think?
I personally live by, if it can be destroyed by the truth, it should be destroyed by the truth. So if me vocalizing my truth results in never getting married, then that's just something I'm going to have to accept. If a man's not willing to take on those challenges, which I'm not asking anyone to, if you don't want to, then I got to. If I'm not for you, I'm not for you. But I think the reality is when you live out loud and you post a certain way and you stand on certain principles, you have to accept what comes behind it. So, it is what it is. Like, I feel like at this point in my life where, I have a child, he's 8 months old. I'm going to be 30 next month. And I'm in a position where I never thought I would be. And like I said, if I was this gold digger, I think I probably would have played my cards way earlier and probably with different people, you know what I mean? But, I took a chance.
You did pretty well. You're doing better than most girls.
I'll be with you. The fact that you posted that video, I don't think you're a gold digger. because gold diggers don't reveal their hand like that. Because if
What video?
so, remember you talked about you dated this person, that person, you fought this celebrity. Wait, what was it? I think you were in the car, right? Talking about like, yeah, I fought
She basically said like NBA players are fucking stupid.
right.
But really, I was trying to make a group of people look stupid. And I made myself look even worse.
No, but think about it. If you were really smart as a gold digger, why would you post that? Like, it messes you up.
Well, I
Duh.
think this is
Right.
where the innate conversation.
I had to look up what race Myron was, because I know the guy is from Barbados, so he from Rihanna's country. But see, Myron Amaru Fudo. I think he has to be. Let me not even try to guess. Some may say he's a sexist and misogynist. Oh, so he's from Sudan. He's Sudanese. So culturally, he's going to be a little bit different. He's Afro American. For sure, a group on Twitter have guaranteed that he is Arabic and not Afro American, which he asserts himself to be, which individuals have no clue why he changed his name and have spotlight. So he's from some subcategory or some. His name is Amaru. So he's from somewhere else, subculture. So you already know who knows how they feel about women there. So I'm sure this is where his hangups come from. I just had to see where he was from, what he had going on.
Goes right, and even though like I love Brittany, and you say she's smart. Well, if I'm going by you guys' philosophy, I would probably say she's not smart because
exactly
she would have played her cards and been silent.
No, that's the whole point.
She has listen. The dudes she's encountered and been around, and the dudes that she has, been
Y'all
with,
saying North and South? Which one? So he's from
there's-
Sudan.
I
Okay.
would say the majority of women would want that to be their lot that
Yeah.
they have to pick out of, right?
Yeah.
Instead, what I think she did, she
Exit.
was so transparent,
Right.
She put everybody on to what was happening that now I think dudes looked at it like, oh, this seems like this. Now we know your body count is going up.
Yeah.
It repels people. So I wouldn't say that's necessarily smart.
No.
Well, there's different parameters on it.
Yeah,
So here's the thing. Like some girls, right? Like there's a lot of girls that look up to you that are like, damn, I wish I could do what she did. I'll get with, certain celebrities, whatever it is, get a bag, get interviews off of it, get my name out there, build kind of a brand off of it.
That's what we got to find out her motive.
So yeah, but this is the thing, right? So there's different routes to success. Some girls is like, I just want the money and I want the fame, whatever. In that regard, a lot of women are gonna look at what you've done and be like,
Y'all are so funny. We get it. He from Sudan. I get it now. He's okay. So I would assume maybe he's like mixed, or he don't have the Sudan he don't have that full chocolate color. So I'm sure he's Sudan American, whatever.
that's success. You know what I'm saying? Like you won, right? But then some other girls are gonna want a family and a relationship long term. Like I want to be able to lock down a husband. I ain't gonna lie. You hurt your ability to do that now at that point with your internet celeb, because a lot of guys are going to judge a book by its cover. And we always say it, a woman wants a man with a future, a man wants a woman that does not have a past. So that might hurt you in that regard. So it comes down to, what does the woman want? Do you want the money and the fame that comes with certain types of behaviors, or do you want the quiet family life? So it depends on the girl. But
what I was saying is that like her making that content definitely eliminate her from a lot of options that she would have if you just stay silent. So
But I don't think
I think with his TikTok lady, they just didn't work out because of whatever. But still, the TikTok girls who talk about men, the man is gonna feel like, I'm gonna change her mind. She a man hater. It's okay. You fine. Come here, girl. None of this. I'm sure he felt some type of way, or he felt insecure because he was fit, fresh and fit, and what would the internet think? But we didn't hear nothing about him dating nobody.
think she made those content, and she could tell me because she's right here. I think she made that content not looking to try to get a bag or anything else.
She made it in the moment.
Well, I think she made
I
that
can tell
content
you why.
out of probably emotion, but she still wanted to have a family.
No, I can tell you why I did it. Well, I feel like I've lived with shame my whole life, and I felt like doing those videos, even though the delivery might have been off, I felt like it was liberating for me. When I wrote my book, any person who has read my book it is completely different than what it has been portrayed to be. And now, mind you, did I salaciously market it to get money? Of course I did, because who wants a book that's like really, I was a 25-year-old writing a memoir.
Like Superhead wrote that, like a similar thing.
But it wasn't, it's nothing like that. Cause like I read Superhead's book in high school. So it's like, I know.
But I mean the marketing tactics, the salacious marketing tactics.
Yeah. So it's like, I know, we know what gets the people going, you know, but I think when I was doing those videos, I was dealing with so much shame, and I had been in therapy for years too, learning how to really process my emotions and articulate my feelings. And I felt like nobody.
Something that I do know about her from following her for so long, that she has been in therapy for a long time. She's probably been in therapy for like years now. Probably, I want to say like 5 years at this point. I've been following her for years, and she always talks about therapy. So I think that's why she can so eloquently speak about her feelings as well. So she knows herself. It's messed up, and is whatever people say, she know.
Nobody's talking about anything. I'm looking around, all of the girls that are under the same umbrella as me, everybody's silent. So it's tough, because it's like, why would I go against the grain when it's like I could really just suck a dick, shut up, and then I wouldn't have to work the rest of my life. But it's just like I have been put in a position to use my voice, and that's just what I'm going to do. So I have to accept what comes.
Yeah, they do act like she was doing only, or she was an ex stripper, or in any type of sex work, which is fine. Not like we care, but she actually didn't. She never has. So I think this might have been the wrong one
Behind that.
And the other thing, so I want to say, and when I said like she was smart about it, is a lot of girls wish they could do what you're doing. Like I would say you're like the no offense to this, right? You'd be like the city girls, like poster child, like, oh, she got money off these idiots, she did what she did, got a book, but was able to build a platform off of this, whatever. Like a lot of girls wish they could do what you've done. You know what I'm saying? So when I say she's smart, she was able to leverage that to her advantage to make money. But what comes with the negatives, you just already mentioned it. Like I don't even have to go into it. Like you get the backlash, you get the infamy, whatever. You make money, but at the other end, like, is it going to ostracize you from certain types of men that might have otherwise taken you seriously for some kind of courtship? Yes, but that's what comes with the territory. And it seems to me like you've kind of come to peace with it, which is great.
And if it is, that's her problem. So why are they so pressed? That's why I'm like, where is this going? Y'all, I know he's trying to make it through. This is long. I know I keep stopping. We gonna try, but I might have to do some skipping.
Because we bring a lot of delusional girls on the pod that do OnlyFans, porn stars, whatever, and they think, oh, I'm going to have a nice guy waiting for me at the thing. And I'm like, bro, it's cap. Like, most guys, like, even if a guy says, I'm tolerant of your sexual past, it's okay. It's always cap. Look at Mia Khalifa, look at Lana Rhodes. Guys can't accept it. There's something about, in a guy's mind, watching his chick get banged by like 7 black dudes. They're like, oh my God, this is terrible. And they just can't do it. So girls gotta, so at least with you kind of accept it, even though you didn't go down that road, but at least you know that, like, all right, I've done things in my past that is gonna ostracize me from courtship from some types of guys, and you're okay with that. But a lot of girls are delusional. They think I still deserve a 1%er that's gonna take me serious and marry me and take me and all my 7 kids on in my porn past. And it's like, nah, bro, it don't work that way.
The only reason why I still said, and this is with all due respect, that she wasn't smart, if we're thinking along.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I was thinking city girl smart, but
it's because when I first heard the 200K, right, and that was the catch line that got a lot of people to dislike her, I'm like, well, she's smart as in she got the bag, but that's gonna come with hatred.
Yes, of course.
She didn't get 200K. You know what I mean? Like she got with some dude that she fell in love with, and then she basically, obviously the internet created that narrative, and I kind of look at her like, I feel like she almost finessed herself.
Or we're talking about the NBA guy? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know
what I mean?
Okay.
So that was a catch line, like, oh snap. Well, women were probably thinking about Brittany Renner, like, well, she did it right, messed with a bunch of dudes. She's getting this wild amount for child support, but that wasn't the case, right? You could have tell it.
No. And what people didn't know, what we were talking about off camera, is like the first couple months that we had even broken up, he didn't want to pay me child support. So I had to seek legal counsel, because I was like, well, here I am being accused of getting $200,000. I can't even get $200 from him right now. So
where did that come from then?
Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. Someone had tagged me on Twitter. And when I saw it, I thought it was a joke, because I'm like, that would be over.
That's why when everybody was like running with this, like this man had to be making LeBron James money. Like he is a rookie that wasn't even sought after.
for $20 million in the span of 18 years. And I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? I didn't really pay it much attention. But then I started seeing like Spiritual World and is it Word, Spiritual Word, whatever the fuck that blog is, whatever, just posting whatever. Posting stuff like that. And I started seeing it catch momentum. And like, mind you, I mean, my baby's 2.5 months old. You know, we were really going through it to where he was not financially supportive in the beginning. And this whole time I'm being like, oh my God, you won. Like girls are tagging me. Oh yeah, I want to be like Brittany Renner. And deep down it's like, and it's just like,
I've never done this. I've never explained this to anybody. Hey, yo, this is how we get it.
how am I the poster girl for the poster child for city girls? Because I'm like, if anything, I've always followed my heart and I got shit on. Like, again, if I was really, I feel like I've had to take my truth and flip it in some way, because I'm like, obviously I'm really good at speaking. I love to write, you know, there are things that I can, you know, capitalize off of, but the reality is like, if I was a city girl, I wouldn't have had a baby. I would be, I'm so stupid. I'd be like, why did you leave LA to move to Charlotte? And then you had a baby unwed. You know, you could have got a ring. Like I was 29. Like I could have really leveraged my ovaries here. Like, you know what I mean? I'm trophy pussy. I could have got.
This young man was probably so obsessed with her in the beginning because it was Brittany Renner. And we grew up looking at Brittany Renner. I mean, we're in the same generation of time. We're all in our 20s. He treated her probably like the best gold, the best thing ever. And then when life set in, they were at the honeymoon stage, he was probably moving just normal, you know, like a 20-year-old young man with the baby, and get good, bad, or indifferent. But yes, it was dumb, Brittany.
Got with a trophy guy and had a trophy baby, you know? So it's like, that's where to me.
Uzi, no cap. But
oh my God. Anyway.
Oh, no. By the way, wait, let's cut you off, fresh. But so, and I wonder in hindsight, right? Because I think even that goes to what Myron's saying. When you kind of like wrote that book, right? And you eventually then settled with your baby's father, do you almost wish that was your true goal? And you did say this before to me in the last interview, because that's what I was saying to you. I used this term that went viral, and I said, yo, no, you're a side chick pussy. And I said the reason why that is that if your inherent goal is to end up being the one with the ring and the baby, however, you are talking about a bunch of dudes that you've been with that none of them were going to offer you that, at least from what we know. And obviously I'm speaking from an ignorant perspective. I know the ins and outs. I'm like, well, we as dudes know what those type of girls represent in our lives. And I'm wondering, because that's not only, you know, emblematic of you. Everybody's playing a dating field. You're just the one who spoke to speak about the guys that didn't put a ring on it or didn't even get in an official relationship with you. Do you regret that?
No.
Why not?
Because I can't
fucking up you getting to, because it seems like you want a family. You want a family, you want the picket fence. It seems like that, what you did there.
Is this even a conversation to like that she should be having like with these guys? Like, what is it's like, what understanding can she really give to them besides it was a dumb decision on her end? It's almost like she dropped the ball. I think that's why the men don't get it. I just think now we get into her stupidity.
It's fucking up. If you ask me, I think your baby's father, a young guy who's probably a little bit mentally fragile to people clowning him, whether on the internet or people just saying these jokes, whether they be really true or not. Again, the internet really affects all of us. Him not being able to get past that probably ended up with you being a single mother. Now, when you're looking towards the next potential guy, they're going to be judging you on you, and you said something.
And I get that. So he had Brittany Renner, all the prettiness, all the, you know, the fitness, the nice body, all that. And then it got too much pressure on him. Like, you're dating Brittany Renner, or this other athlete ran through her, or this other guy messed with her. So it was too much pressure for him. He wasn't strong enough in the game yet. He was still new to it. He wasn't true to it yet. So, you know, I get it. Some rappers and athletes and guys who date some girls who you got to have a thick skin.
Something which I was thinking about for the last 10 minutes. You said if the truth could destroy it,
if it can be destroyed by the truth, it should be destroyed by the truth.
Well, again, it could be the truth, but doesn't need to be the public truth.
Mm.
Because if I tell everything about what I've done, and by the way, I've always said, you know, a lot of women who may have had like they went to college, they wilded out for a while. They don't just like fucking kill themselves and come back. You know what they do? They just move towns. Like they don't tell anyone what they do. That's
Yeah.
the only thing.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like,
facts.
It's all about what you know. But you write a public book, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think if the ultimate goal, because this is why I disagree with what they're saying. You're not the
She still had to maximize and make money off of her brand and what she did, which was the gold digging esque, or you know, her being an IG girl. So we still wanted to hear those stories. I have the Brittany Renner book. We still wanted to hear those stories about her and the athletes and her and the different men. So it was a reason why she did that. It was for monetary value. It was still for money. It was still a part of her brand. So I'm interested to see what she's going to say, because I know that has to be, it's for money.
You're not the picture perfect what they want to call city girl. I don't think you're a city girl at all. Because I don't think you're the city girl is the one saying, yo, I got the bag of the money, fuck these niggas. I'm over here, I'm getting it. Fuck
If she was a city girl, she would have been like Young Miami and 808 Mafia and said bye. And she would Diddy now. Next man with a bag. Next man with a bag. She wasn't chasing, she didn't move, nothing. Young Miami, that was a real city girl move. Just saying, she didn't Young Miami it.
relationship, I'm using these dudes. Seems like you're saying, I don't want to use these dudes. And matter of fact, it's been clear. That's why I said you'd be not a good finesser. You didn't go after the best candidate out of the bunch. You settled for some dude you just kind of, your heartstrings pulled you to. So that's why I asked you, I'm like, so it's not like you were chasing the money. So why don't you not regret putting that information out there that has now like essentially limited your options? Because that's going to be the disclaimer of anybody who gets with you. It's going to be like, yo, you know, she wrote this book. You know, she's admitted to all this. And by the way, we talked about, we won't name those names. There's certain women who are seen in the industry as like the wifey types and the prestige about their names or whatever.
Yeah.
They fuck probably 10 times the amount of.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know what? Keep their mouth fucking shut.
Yeah.
Don't say shit.
Yeah.
And you know, like even having this conversation today, I was like, is it a place or time?
Red pill. Now, thank you. What she's referring to, I see Tonsa. I'm not sure if it's male, female. Red pill is simply human nature rooted in evolutionary biology. So red pill is basically the manosphere, the men podcasting, all that. Men and women have evolved over time, but their innate nature has not changed. Thank you for saying this. Men and women's nature has still not changed at all. The cavemen in the cave still wanted to take care of the women who was taking care of the babies and bring the food back and the berries back to the cave. She took advantage of the dynamic and got her money. Period. All right. Jojo! Hi! My best friend is my Missy and a Tessie. She's here.
I'm in society now where women who have been fighting for sexual liberation are down to say, well, if this is happening, it shouldn't matter.
If you guys are still here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm on my way to 2,500 subscribers. I'm on almost to 2,100. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. I got 15 people here. Let me get 15 thumbs up and hit that notification bell ding so you guys know when I post. Okay, this is a long one today.
Matter if I say it publicly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm wondering if that's where your position is. Like, it shouldn't matter if I say it publicly, especially if other people are doing it. But if I got to go back into this whole, you know, old school traditional way of act like I'm a virgin when you goddamn know none of these girls are virgins. But if I got to go back into this hiding and shame of my sexual past, I don't want to do it.
And that's just where I feel like,
Merch.
you know, you kind of feel like you're what'd you say?
Merch.
Like a pioneer too. It's kind of like you're like, well, you know, like I'm gonna own it. I don't see anybody else publicly speaking about it. And it's not that like, oh, everybody should be talking about what they're doing. This is just who I am. This is just my expression. Like this is just how I've always been. And there are times like even when I graduated high school,
Thank you.
there were times I would ask myself, like, why am I like this? Like, why do I think the way that I think? Why do I feel the way that I feel? Like, why can't I be like other girls? Like it felt like things were so simple for them. Like I just can't suck a dick and shut up. I can't not share my experiences. I feel like, yes, of course, there are some things that it's not a secret, it just ain't your business. But I feel like my book was like a huge release for me. And it was my liberation because, like I said, I had been chained for so long because I lived in shame. There is nothing I've read online that was more cruel than what I said to myself on a daily basis. So I feel like
I'm not going to hold y'all. I have the Brittany Renner book. I have not read it yet. Maybe I should read the Brittany Renner book and come back. Let me know if you guys want me to read it. I can read it this week and we can come back and maybe talk about it. When I bought it, I did do that with the intent to do it, but I didn't do it yet. But I do have the book and I did not read it. I'm not going to hold y'all.
at the end of the day, I just truly believe that this is my truth. This is what I'm going to stand on. If this limits my options, that's okay. But just like how your guys' podcast is to help men, my story, there is a message in my mess. And I have to just accept what comes behind that. Some women don't feel, liberated opening their mouth. Some women like me do.
Let me ask you a question. And
keep getting away from the mic.
Do you think, okay, so would you trade the notoriety and any amount of income you've gained off the notoriety that has been associated with some of these things to have a very happy family? I'm not going to say.
I think they're just trying to pull something out of Brittany Renner, and she's given us all that she can. She's been an open book. She's been transparent. Like, we have to let her live her next chapter yet. Like, they want to get something out of her that she's been transparent. She's given us everything. What else is there to ask?
Anyone, just random guy, just to have someone who is not affected by it, have a husband who's not thinking about.
Obviously, this conversation is more geared towards men, for men to have an understanding of it. So I think it's going to be kind of rhetorical maybe for us, but.
Oh, at the end of the day, it's Brittany Renner, and these are the things that come with Brittany Renner. You get what I mean?
So you're asking me if I would trade my life right now to be in a white picket fence?
Yes. I think you're proving their point. I think.
Well, I think the point is that me personally, I can't speak for all women. Like I've always wanted that, and I think too when you grow up in dysfunction.
I think that she can get that. I think she's just still innately troubled, but I think it's no different than any woman who's out here who had her whole days in college and dated and messed around and did all that and then got her a good husband. You're like, dang, she used to be a whole skeezer. She got her a good man. Now people change and evolve. So, I mean, I think I was shaking my head no, but she telling me she would give up all this. I mean, maybe because I'm not in her shoes, but I wouldn't say that. I think her life's not over yet.
Function. I think you want more than anything to have your own.
And she's on a redeeming. It's like almost this conversation has a redeeming quality. I don't think she's been trying to redeem herself on purpose by anything, but it gives people an understanding. So the niggas go sit and watch this and be like, okay, Brittany, you a little different now. Let's see.
Family and to kind of do it right. There is no right way. Our families do the best
No, there's
they
nothing
can.
wrong with that. It's just that we live in a crazy world now where we tell women like, no, you could do it yourself. You don't need no man, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is men and women are designed to be
They're meant to be together. They're so much stronger together.
So like, and we know like from the numbers and everything else like that, like a big predicator on female happiness and fulfillment is a family. Like we're put on this earth to procreate. The difference between men and women is that men can put it off for far longer than women can. You guys have a finite amount of time to find the best guy and have the most negotiating power to find said guy and lock him down and have a child with him. Men can push it off until later on, which we actually encourage guys to do because you gain more value as a man as you get older. So it's just in this crazy world now, like in the United States, typically we say, oh, you don't need a family, you don't need no man, blah, blah, blah. But it's a lie. And that's why I always say we lie to young women and tell them you can go ahead and get a bag and everything else in the city girl, which is why
all they're doing is adding in city girl mentality, which is a modern term in everything that Kevin Samuel says.
so many girls like look up to you and love what you do because like I know you're saying like, oh, well, I think she's a terrible finesser.
That's why I wanted to read the book. I mean, that's literally a part of a woman's life. So it was a book for women. I don't think it was for men to understand. I mean, if the men just kept their heads down and maybe stayed out of women's business, then maybe Brittany Renner can just keep going on. I think men want to be like women nowadays too, and men get a little soft too. Men need to have a little heart too. That's my woman. Back up off her. I don't care who she been with, what she did. That's how my boyfriend is, and he loves me, okay? And that's my husband. So I know I used to be one of the girls, and I got me a good man who makes very good money. So it has nothing to do with that, child.
Argue that compared to other girls who are fucking for free and dealing with bums or whatever, not getting anything out of it, at least you were able to monetize and leverage the notoriety to your benefit where someone else isn't exclusively benefiting. So she's better off than most girls. But I get what you're saying though, where it's like there's other finesses as well.
It's a give and take.
And social probably group that probably got her the fame.
Yeah.
Like, the reason why I'm saying she's a bad finesser for thinking
She could have got more. She could have got more
like,
from what who she was dealing with.
If you list like, hey, listen, like we're sorry to compare to like like basketball, but hey, you could play with like LeBron or KD, or you could play with like this guy who's like
Y'all are child. Now, what is funny is I just watched 2 shows. I watched Power, and we already know. I'm not going to spoil Ghost Power, but if y'all have been watching, we already know that Monet is Zeke's mama, whatever. And we already know that deal. So she was keeping that away from the family and whatever. So yeah, she did hide that. That's true. And then I'm watching The Oval. And I found out some things about paternity on there, and the mama, who was my favorite mama, she had a baby, and they were saying it was a nephew. So I have seen those cases on 2 TV shows that I'm watching right now in tandem, of the women lying, saying that it's their nephew and it's really their son, years ago. So that does happen, child. Ooh wee. And thank you, girl. It's been a long time coming for me. Trust me. And we went to college together, y'all. So thank you.
player on like the Washington Wizards.
Yeah, of course.
Pick the guy.
I hear what you're saying.
So again,
but we're in Miami, so she's better off than like 99% of girls. What I'm saying, like
real quick. So you actually loved him?
Absolutely, I did.
Okay, so the narrative is you were using him, right? You actually loved him. Now that being said, favorite catchphrase here: if you could go back in time, right?
It's almost like how she said that they're easy, whatever. She really liked this athlete. This was the one that she really liked. And honestly, y'all, I think it would have been better if we sitting up here with like a girl that was really trying to use somebody like Mary Lee, the Tristan Thompson girl, or we could have got a better baby mother or somebody that y'all wanted to shit on than her. Like Brittany Renner's top of the line. Like, so that's this is why this conversation is hitting so hard. It's a tough one to have.
And you could foresee. Well, actually, you know what? Scrap that.
Why don't y'all work it out, man?
No.
Fuck it.
Why did it really end? Because the internet has its answer. The behind the scenes. I don't know if you want to say it on air, but like, why did it truly end? Was it him? Was it you? Was it joint thing? Was it the internet?
I feel like this is like the one question, like even when I came on with academics, I was just like dancing around it because when we initially
Stop.
I knew they were going to give us a commercial, but also I'm like, don't give the juice to Fresh and Fit while y'all broke up. I ain't going to hold you. I hope she don't give it to him.
like, you never go against the mob. Like, you don't air out our family business, and then obviously all that stuff.
The internet has its answer. The behind the scenes. I don't know if you want to say it on air, but like, why did it truly end? Was it him? Was it you? Was it joint thing? Was it the internet?
I feel like this is like the one question, like even when I came on with academics, I was just like dancing around it because when we initially broke up, I'm like, you never go against the mob. Like, you don't air out our family business. And then obviously all that stuff happened. And then it's like, I have to lean into the villain role because you didn't put me in it a little bit, so. Well,
let's just guess really quick here. I think it's just the cheating, the lifestyle, him being a 20-year-old basketball player, him thinking Brittany Renner was this and that and the third. I think it's probably everything that we thought it was. And it's just life. I don't think it was anything big or anything we never unheard of before. There's just dynamics and being different. But let's see.
He's a liar. He's a cheater. I know a lot of people that I've talked to, even like people that I would consider that I'm close with.
He's an NBA player though, man.
But I was just about to, so I was even, this man was actually hanging stuff up in my house. Like, I had a bunch of pictures that needed to go up. And when we were talking, he was like, but didn't you know what you were signing up for? And I'm like, I hear what you're saying, but nobody, especially me, I waited till I was 29 to have a baby. So I thought I was like waiting, gonna do this right. Like, there's no way I'm gonna be a baby mama.
It's just like, yeah, you're dumb now. Yeah, she's dumb for that. Because it's like, yeah, you waited all these 29s of years, probably had athletes with more money, whatever, more resources. She laid it out till she was 29, ran through whatever. So yeah, I think she did drop the ball on that, Brittany. You could have done the girls, you should have done the city girls a little bit better on that. So that's why she ain't no city girl. She's also a dumb girl too. So I think that's what it was as well. Just stupidity. Why would you get with somebody who just got in the league, girl? We already know that ain't going. You never supposed to get somebody who just got in the league, girl. Supposed to take them for their wife, or just being honest, or get them when they mid in the league or ready to settle down. Yeah, she got.
Like, there's no way. You don't sign up to be single. You don't sign up to lay down for 9 months to not have the family structure, you know? So for me, the lying and the cheating, I could not tolerate that. I have my $15,000 allowance because that's what he was saying. He's like, Brittany, well, absolutely, I did.
Okay.
I'm
so
sorry, y'all. I
the
accidentally
narrative
hit the
is-
keyboard.
Thing, but nobody, especially me, I waited till I was 29 to have a baby. So I thought I was like waiting, gonna do this right. Like, there's no way I'm gonna be a baby mama. Like, there's no way. You don't sign up to be single. You don't sign up to lay down for 9 months to not have the family structure, you know? So for me, the lying and the cheating, I could not tolerate that. To have the Bentley, to live in the $1.6 million house, to have my $15,000 allowance.
See, she wasn't really that type. So that's why. So that is why she's one of the hoes that wrote the book and is more outspoken. She just liked to have sex. She was, energetic. That was just her. She was a little bit out there. And, that's the category and the stereotype she got fit into. And then she wasn't up for it. Because the girls who take on that lifestyle and get with the young athlete, give me my money, give me my Bentley. I'll be quiet. Don't put it in my face and do what you got to do. So
Because that's what he was saying. He's like, Brittany, what more do you want from me? You have everything here. What do you want?
But
I want to
finish here. Go ahead.
And I said, I want commitment. I want you, like, and I want you to be faithful to me. That's all I want. No, but I want you to be faithful to me.
See, I can respect that.
no athlete's life is perfect. We already heard. I don't believe that LeBron has been 100% faithful to Savannah. And I know people going to get on me for that. But if you get deep down into the darkness of gossip and all that, we already know that Savannah may not like it, but LeBron is out here doing whatever he do. And Steph Curry, it seems like Aisha wanted to be out there in these streets because she had no prior experience with men. So she wanted the attention. And he seems like he could just be a little soft, little simp. So I don't even know if that's somebody we would want. And Russell Wilson has done the work of God. I'm still trying to understand what he did with that because, whew.
Now, Myron, please.
Yo, when you deal with a certain caliber guy, you're not gonna get him to yourself. Like I need to drill this in women's head. Like, yo, the more money and status a man has, the less likely he's gonna be faithful to you. You have to, it's a trade-off. When you get a top tier guy, guess what? Every other woman is gonna want him, and you have to accept the uncomfortable reality that you're gonna have to share him sexually. But if you got the ring, you got the kid, you got the house, you got the money, etc., women need to put their ego aside and understand that men are going to exercise options, especially when they get to a certain point. But if you have the main title,
I think the thing is that in a lot of circumstances, this is the case, but in some circumstances, in a lot, it is the case, but in some, it isn't. But the way that they depict it is that in all cases, all circumstances, all men with money who have a wife, who have a structure, a family home, and are the provider are going to cheat and be unfaithful. And that's not true. I believe that it is men who are not cheaters. And I don't think the men who are faithful to their wives and their women who are successful and have money want to be depicted that way. We only hear this from men who are unmarried. I want to sit up and really hear from somebody who's married.
it is what it is. And this is where I got to be a little tough here. A lot of women think they're sugar and spice and everything nice, and I'm fucking special. Y'all are really not that special, man. A lot of girls are the same box, same vagina, whatever it is. Guys like new pussy. It is what it is. So if you have a man emotionally, you have his kid, you have his house, whatever, you got to get past your ego of thinking, he's fucking other bitches. This is fucked up. Because men can have sex
You think that's a new way
detached of emotion. Yeah, because the girls, like,
well,
we tell women.
both senses.
So this just sounds like a Kevin Samuels spew. They sound just like Evan.
Because I think, what's been drilled in really westernized society and just like, hey, relationships, there's monogamous relationships, right? I don't think it's ever been like, told to women in the Western hemisphere, like, hey, listen, if you get certain type of guys, you're supposed to share
We
them.
coddle, I'm gonna just say it. We coddle women from reality in the West in general. Like we tell them they're strong and independent. We tell them that they're perfect the way they come. They don't need to lose weight. They don't need to be more feminine. You act how you are. Know your truth, baby girl. All this other crazy, stupid shit. There's only one truth. There's no my truth, but that's a whole other conversation. Like we coddle women from uncomfortable realities. We tell them they deserve the world and more. Men don't necessarily get that same reality. So when a man has to, or he doesn't get that same coddle. So
I did see that about Steph and Aisha. So yes, these guys keep spewing off this.
men have the cold hard reality of, yo, you need to perform. And if a man does perform and gets to that certain point where he becomes somebody, an NBA player, a musician, a guy that is now highly sought after by women, he's going to exercise those options because women don't understand how difficult it is for men to get sexual access. Most guys don't have sex regularly. Most guys can barely get a girlfriend. Most guys lose their virginity later and later on in life. So for men, when they finally make it, they get into that candy store and they're able to get as much candy.
It's because also the new generation of men and men being a man's man does not exist anymore. And these two men, I can't see teaching a young man how to be a man's man like in our grandfather or some of our father's generation. I mean, Kevin Samuel's generation is the last generation of really man's men. You have very, very few. When I got with my partner, the qualities that he had was like my grandfather who worked at Ford. I'm from Michigan, so working in the plants, hard work, men who use their hands, get their hands dirty. My partner now is an engineer, so it's a big reason why it's still why I still look for manly men, and why I do think men nowadays are soft, because they are.
Candy as they want, they're going to enact on it. And women need to put their ego to the side and understand this comes with the territory. I have a rich, successful man that's young and attractive, and other women are going to want him. That's okay. Men can have sex detached of emotion. And this is where I always say, women make the cardinal mistake and think men and women are the same. We are not. Men look at sex like taking a piss. You guys look at it as a huge emotional investment. So for women, they can't fathom, how can you fuck another girl and come home to me? I just took a piss and I'm coming now to my main girl. That's not a big deal. But girls need to understand it comes with the territory. A man of success is not going to be faithful to you sexually. It is what it is.
Wait. So should, and I'm asking you for advice.
Sure.
For women.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of women who are going to watch this
and get triggered.
And they're going to be like,
misogyny.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
We want a monogamous dude.
It's the truth.
So okay, I hear what you're saying. But if they want a monogamous dude, should women date down?
I'm not gonna hold y'all. I've seen some old men with women who love their wives, old Botox through, down, up, and they love their wives. So I don't think, in a general sense of us women in this world who aren't celebrities or dating men who are celebrities or high profile men who are wealthy, all this does is disencourage women to actually get with men if they think they're just going to go and cheat. You can't even start giving the benefit of the doubt or working through things, or you're not even setting any parties up for success.
Lower
the standards. Look, Brittany,
because you're essentially saying, you can't date an NBA player.
Hold on. But how do you feel about what he just said?
You have to understand, like, for me, I'm just a different type of person. Like, I honestly can see all different points of view and can be like, you know what, that does make sense. Or, you know what, I never thought about it like that. But I think for me, it's like, okay, well, you know what, I can respect that. I may not agree with it, but that just doesn't work for me. And I think, of course, you could look from that standpoint, like, hey, move your ego. I think when it's more, I think if there was more transparency, like, hey, you're going to have this, and this, but it's going to be more of an open relationship, or,
So ladies in the comments, I think we got a guy here saying it's getting harder and harder. Check the DMs. The women's out here spewing out no's. Y'all giving out no's in the DMs. Y'all ain't giving the men no chances. Come on, ladies. Don't play with them like that.
I want you at home. You can't really do a thing. But let me finish. Or if it's like, oh, I want to be able to have threesomes, or I want to fuck you with another man. I just feel like there was a conversation that could have been had to where, let me make the choice myself. But you took that choice away from me when you decided to be deceitful. And it's like, of course, you could assume because he's an NBA player, because he's young. But at the same time, like, if I'm not doing it, and in my mind, like you said, we're wired so differently.
Yeah.
No, I'm not discrediting that, but I'm a very devoted person. So I'm assuming that, you know, I'm not wasting my time. I'm in this for the long haul. I want to get married. We want more kids. Like that was something we wanted to go back to back on, you know? So it's like, I'm thinking we're on the same page, and I'm like, well, where do other women come into the equation of this relationship? So I guess I think if there was more, hey, you know what?
It's because she was dating a young man. I don't even think this is a conversation to have with Brittany Renner. She was dating somebody who was 6, 7 years younger than her, and a 20-year-old young man. Now, I'm just saying, we know that men shouldn't even look at being married or really settling innately until 25, 30, 40. You know, men get ultimate. You know, they can get married up until they 70s and still look good. So, you know, us women, it'd be harder out here. Just saying. So I think that she was not doing her thing.
I am tired of your pussy, bitch. I'm tired of hitting from the same. You know, I'm ready for something different. Like I want to see you eat a pussy. I want to see you take a dick. I feel like at that point in time, it could have been like, we can work something out. But when you try to be sneaky and you lie and you doing whatever, and you're not even really taking care of what you need to take care of, because you're just, here's the money, here's the rent, here's the car, here's the car. I'm emotionally checked out, because you have to understand too, we as women, we can feel when you're not really in it. So I just personally am like, that just doesn't work for me.
Right.
And that's okay. Like there will be a woman that would be like, bitch, you're so dumb. I literally would have sat there and just waited till I got the ring, have more kids with him, and just been in the house with my credit card, swipe, doing whatever. That's just not me, because I've always gotten it on my own.
Yeah, she's been in the game for so long. So their dynamics of her just sitting back and letting them do whatever, it was gonna be a little bit different. So that's why, yeah, the women are making a lot of money. They're making a lot of money now, and they being a little resistant, y'all. So yeah, she wasn't going for it.
When you like, I didn't have a sugar daddy. I didn't have a rich family. There was no help here. So I think for me, when you get it out the mud and you're step by step building shit by yourself, you do look at, for me personally, I can't speak for all of us.
Thank you.
I do look at men differently, because it's like, I can do everything. I've bought the shoes. I've bought the bags. I thought I got this car was going to make me happy, but it's the connection I want. I can't buy the connection.
So let me say this real quick, because you mentioned a bunch of things there. And the biggest thing to understand is that men and women are different. So like, I get what you're saying. Like, well, he took it away from me. He didn't have that conversation. That's why women really need to listen to our podcast, because we tell women all the time, if you're dealing with a guy of a certain caliber, assume he's going to fuck other bitches.
Always.
Yeah.
Most guys we tell guys on our pod all the time, yo, be honest
about
tell
it.
her it's going to be open. But you know what? They're not going to do it. And the reason why is because most women, like I said before, have egos and think, I'm special, I'm a princess, I'm the only one, give me that commitment, etc. A lot of women suffer from princess dynamics, which they think their pussy is the best and they're special. And I'm here to tell y'all women, y'all are not fucking special. You guys, look at you guys all.
Assume what? Well, let him finish his point and then I'll answer.
Like, women, like y'all are really not that special, bro. Like once guys reach a certain caliber and they're dealing with attractive women all the time, like beauty is extremely common. And I need women to understand that you are not that special. And when you humble yourself and realize I'm not that special, and
their podcast is not for women. I used to try to like listen to it when they would have interesting people on, but y'all, the Asian doll interview with them was terrible. Oh my God, it was awful, awful, awful. I may do like a little smaller mini reaction to that, not the full thing, but they're a mess.
he can replace me anytime. Now you need to have other redeeming facts that's going to make him come to you outside of just the sex. And most guys are not going to have that conversation with you and say, listen, baby girl, I want to have sex with other girls. You're just going to have to accept that it's going to come with the territory and assume it's going to happen and be open to it. Maybe, hey, listen, man, do you want to have sex with other girls, whatever? And then open it up and let him kind of come to you. But like a lot of girls make the cardinal mistake and think this guy's a 1%er. I'm going to have them all to myself. It's just not how things operate with men, man. They want new box. They want new pussy. Every guy's going to tell you, I want some new pussy. It's the best thing ever. It's just that most guys can't be honest with women because most women are not hardwired. Society teaches women that they're special and they deserve the best guy, and that guy's going to be committed to them, which is a huge lie we tell women. The more successful.
Is it a societal thing or is it an innate thing that women are just different than men and we're wired differently and nobody just want to hear that shit, maybe.
Successful the man, the less likely he's going to be monogamous to you sexually. He's going to fuck other bitches, but he's going to come to you. And I tell girls all the time, yo, if you got a 1% guy, hold on to him. If he fucks these other bitches, that's fine. He's going to come home to you. That's all that matters. So
Caramel, baby, you about to
I'll just
have
say
so
this one
many
last thing.
BMWs, child. Don't play.
I would try to work it out with him, man. If I was the girl, I would try to work out. And that's the father of your child. Like cheating, that's nothing. Any guy that you deal with, especially at your level now. No, real talk. It sounds crazy. But yo, Brittany, I'm telling you, you're at a point now. Real talk. Yo, it's not that big a deal, bro. It ain't. Like, yo, I come from a culture where we have 4 wives. Like, yo, Brittany, I'm telling you, you're at a socioeconomic level now.
Okay, so he said he come from a culture with women with 4 wives. So his dynamics think will be different. They got these men who are not innately even African American or, from America per se, you know, different ideals, different things. Their information is all misconstrued, child.
And you're at a
So
certain
Brittany
status.
fucked up for leaving this nigga.
Like you're at a certain status and a socioeconomic
He's only
level
cheating.
where the average guy is you cannot deal with a regular guy no more. You have to deal with an entertainer, somebody that has money, an investor, something, whatever it is. Like you're gonna have to deal with a guy that makes a certain amount of money. And these guys are going to go out and step out and fuck other chicks anyway.
You're gonna do it anyway.
So you might as well accept it from the father of your child than some other random dude that is probably going to have a point of contention with your past anyway.
Deal with the devil you know than the one you don't. What do you think
Not
about that?
not the 20-year-old. It wasn't enough hidden for her to even wrap her head around or even warm up to the idea for somebody to step out. Maybe if we was all sitting up in the mansions, I think that's different. Everybody like, do what you gotta do. I'm gonna leave and go to Brazil for 3 months. Do what you gotta do. I'm going. So I think these are conversations not for everyday people, but it ain't one for Brittany Renner anyway. So shit. I'm gonna skip a little bit through this, y'all, to see where we're at. Don't be mad at me, but we're about to be through 2 hours, and I'm doing some acting today, so I want to see kind of what they're talking about. So I'm gonna skip a little bit.
I'm gonna be honest, like I don't have all the answers for you. I feel like from college, we were together for 4 years. I kind of look into the crowd and be like him, and as opposed to being a woman, you're kind of
Hulu Ad Manager is the easy way for businesses like yours to advertise.
waiting for the man to seek you and pick you. So it's like you don't really have control. I don't want to say there's no control anyways, but
I feel like the average woman has more options.
well, we're not talking about like sex though. I'm talking about like if I want to get married, like that's not up to me. That's up to a man being like, I want to marry you. I'm getting down on one knee. I'm not prepared.
See, it's different things. And she was just saying that. Yeah, it's different things. Women can't say they want an open thing because God forbid. That's true. And then on the flip side, what's she about to say?
Proposing to a man. So that's kind of more so what I mean when it's like,
man.
I kind of wish like women had that freedom too, or we could just kind of look back and be like,
I respectfully disagree. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because women are born with value. Someone is going to come and propose to you. It might not be the man of your dreams that meets all the requirements, but you will get a man if you want one. With men, however, you got to create your value first. You don't even get a chance to play the game unless you reach a certain level. And the more attractive the girl, the more you have to get up to a certain point to even play the game. So with girls, you have inherent value just from existing, and it's just a matter of cashing out your chips as soon as you can when you find the best guy. But let's be honest, what do most girls do? Well, you know what? They're kind of like, gamblers. Like, you know what? I'm just going to keep playing. I'm going to keep playing. I can get better.
Yeah.
Bigger, better deal.
And I think they're having the most girl conversation with Brittany Renner, who is not most girls. I'm just going to say I'm in the most girls category. Listen, as special as I want to be, honey, I'm in the most girls category. She is not. So let's be real here. That's I'm like, I don't even know if they should be having this conversation, this deep conversation with her. They need to be having these deeper conversations instead of what do you bring to the table with the women? They're pulling her like how they do all the rest of the women on the Fresh and Fit podcast. We're not getting that much. We're gonna keep going. I'm not seeing what else is on here, child.
Deal. I can keep going. I can stay in the market a little bit longer. I can do it. And then bang, next thing you know, lights turn on. It's 2 a.m. Oh God, who's left? The fat bitch. Oh God. All right, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? But women ain't gonna do that. They're just gonna go home by themselves and take the hell with their dogs. So, but guys will go ahead and settle. So, I don't know. The thing is, I'll say this.
You gonna own a BMW retailer,
right? You're 29 now, right? Let's go back to 21, right? When you were 21, right?
When I first started on Instagram.
Exactly.
21, 22 years
right?
old.
Or world is.
This is very true as well. Independent means simply independent of a man. That's very true. No man. And it's interesting that Cher quote, it was like, well, men are great, but I don't need a man to exist. And it's like in Cher's world or very wealthy women, like you don't need a man to exist. But let me tell you, I need my man. I need my man a lot. I need him to help me fix this when I don't want to take out the trash. He's good at fixing things in the house. He makes good money. So I need my man. I've never been one of those. I want to be independent of a man. Men are fun. They're great, and it's a lot of men who work in the sewers. It's a lot of men who are engineers. My partner works at a waste power plant where he comes home in dust and dirt all day, where he goes up in heaps of flames and boiler systems because they burn trash for a living. I don't, it's no, they have one woman that works there. So it is majority, a lot of things mining where it's all men in our world to get our rings. Women are mining to get our rings and to get our diamonds. Like it is a need for men. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I get it. I do get it.
Your oyster, right?
My oyster.
Right. You're 21. Let's say I'm 31, so I'm 2 years older than you. All right. Let's say I'm in college. I'm broke. And I'm, smoking weed every day. I'm a loser. I'm not really that ambitious, whatever. And I hit you up and I say, yo, I want to date you. I want to take you seriously. What would you tell me?
This still isn't even a child. Okay, well that wasn't PJ Washington. He wasn't doing that. They're just trying to find a point to make.
No.
Probably because I don't have ambition. I haven't gotten myself to a certain point, right?
I would just say it'd be different if you had ambition, because it's not like
Yeah.
you would need to be established. We're both 21 years old. You
Yeah.
know, like want something for
The
yourself.
point is that I am not an attractive man to you yet, because I'm still I'm basically at my lowest point. Like I'm not at my peak yet, right? But you're at your peak, right? Let's fast forward. Now you're expecting a guy who's at his peak to take you, and you're basically me when I was in college, because you have a kid now, you're older.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And it just sucks because the reality is women's value drops precipitously as they get older. And then if they have a kid, it drops even more so. And then let's add on the fact that you have a very high standard, you have a social media pass, whatever. There's a lot of things that a guy has to go through to even potentially take you on. So it's now you are me as that college kid that doesn't bring anything to the table as a man. So your value is plummeting. I'm not saying that to be like an asshole or whatever, but this is the uncomfortable reality of biology. Like women are born with the value and they got to preserve it and get the best guy that they can while they can. Do I think you could find a guy? Absolutely. You still can.
Chow Cow, you are killing me in these comments. All of y'all. Shout out to you, Chow Cow. Nicole Thespiana, you have now been playing. Caramel baby with the BMWs. Funny. I think we got our men in the building, getting the women right, we going back and forth. I love y'all. Shout out to y'all for real. Just for real. Shout out to y'all. I'm gonna skip a little bit through if you're still here. Let's see what else they talking about.
Gonna deal with no bum, no broke, no loser dude. So it's like, I would say you're gonna get it anyway with any future guy that you get, regardless. Why not just do it with the baby of your father, as the father of your
See, they're literally just trying to spew out what Kevin Samuels said, because Kevin Samuels tells a lot of women who leave their husbands once they're married, not their child's father. Um, why don't you just go back to them after cheating and different things? And hey, listen, it's hard out here. Why don't you just stay with them? Brittany Renner is still not in that category of women who got to stay with somebody just, excuse me, for resources and for love. And also, they just spew out what Kevin Samuels said, but the advice is wrong. It's not the same circumstance to just stay with the man or just stay with the person because. Excuse me, it's a different circumstance of encouraging her to stay because of history and because of the kids and all that. I just don't think this is going to be a benefit to her and him. And it's not, they were never married. So I think bygones be bygones for them.
your child and just work it out. I think y'all could do it.
I think for her, she's already made up her mind. It's over, right?
Yeah.
Because I can tell, like it's already over, bro. So for
I
her,
just feel like there are certain lines that I feel like were crossed, and I think if there was like, and I literally when you ask me anytime that I go on anywhere, I'm always say never, but I just feel like for me, I'm really big on principle and respect, and I feel like you kind of like he threw me to the wolves, like when you were tweeting all that shit, when you were lying. When you were painting that picture as if I was faking it all along. I feel like for me, you didn't have my back. And I feel like once you kind of crossed that line, you really made it to where we enemies for real. But now we have a child. So we have to coexist. We have to co-parent. And that's very tough to deal with because it's like you tried to sink my.
It's because she still procreated with a 21-year-old man. Y'all, come on, let's go back to when we were in our early 20s. I was a mess. The guys I dated was a mess. The 21-year-olds know how I know is a mess. Of course, they're going to say stuff on Twitter. I was Twitter fingers when I was 21 too. She just shouldn't have been with this man.
My shit. You tried to destroy my livelihood all because you wanted to be the first one to have a story come out there and talk about, yeah, you were lying. Oh, yeah, bitches ain't whatever. You know, just making it seem like it was when there are so many text messages, conversations we've had, because you know what it is. But you wanted, again, for everybody on the outside looking in to be like, she's the villain, she's the bad guy. And I want her to be undesirable to any man that thinks they're going to look her way. I can't get over that. And on principle, you will stand. So that's why for me, yeah, of course. I mean, that's why all the Kardashians, they have multiple babies with the same guy because it's like, it's just easier. Yeah, of course it is, you know? And it's like, I see what my son looks like. He's adorable. I know what I get. But in the reality, that's not someone I can build with. That's not someone I will ever trust. And that's not really somebody I can be respectful towards you. But to like respect you as a man, you would have to come out here and clear what the fuck you did, because you literally let me take bullet after bullet.
Well, yeah, she just shouldn't. That's gonna be on you, girl. Then we're gonna say you silly.
Well, I'm not going out like Brittany. I'm still DMing that nigga right now. What's up? You know what I mean? Is there a little bit of resentment from that because now you're like,
Doesn't matter if you have 10,000 followers or just a few hundred. Print on demand is an amazing way to make money online.
Lifestyle has to change.
To me, I feel like it makes more sense to invest in yourself and invest in what you want to do than to lay down for 9 months and then put a.
I'm letting y'all know I'm skipping through towards the end. We've been on here for 2 hours. I appreciate y'all being here, but we got through the gist and the gist of the interview, y'all. Definitely still let me know in the comments any more interviews or reactions you want me to do. We'll keep it going.
Kid under your belt. Like if we're looking at it from
get Dr. Dre ex-wife Laura, man.
Alimony is very different than child support. And I think that's where people get that confused. Dr. Dre's wife, that was his wife for X amount of years. All these factors play into it.
Iguodala's paying like 50 bands though. Iguodala?
But it also, like you said, it depends on where you are in the state.
You in the wrong state.
What state was it?
I live in North Carolina.
Tristan Thompson was in. That nigga's
you need to be in California or New York or something to really kill him.
No, but the state that Tristan Thompson was at.
I feel.
Yeah, I can tell it is a soft spot for her. Definitely.
Yeah.
No, but I think in reality, it's like I really did not get what I wanted, because it's like, yeah, I wanted a family. I wanted to be married. I wanted more kids. Like I wanted us to, in the matching pajamas together on Christmas. Like that was my intention.
Brittany Renner got old and was ready to be somebody mama at 29 and got with somebody at 20. Child.
Going into it, having a child, without a ring, because I'm thinking we're on the same page. He's going to marry me at some point, and we're going to have more kids. And I didn't get what I wanted from him.
Marry me at some point. Girl, you should have been leveraged for marriage then if he was so gung-ho about you. If he loved you that much and you knew that, should have asked for the ring and not had a cheering in. She could have been just fine, Brittany Renner, without the baby for now. She wanted a child. She was ready to have a kid. She was 29. She was ready to have a kid. She could take care of the kid. So she really wanted love. I believe it. But it was still not a good situation. And I'm still kind of like, girl, you messed up on this one.
Him, and that's okay, because I'm not the person for him.
Is there resentment? And I think this is a natural resentment when women have kids for a dude, because society sees the baby mama, even though he has a kid as well, they see you as like lesser than what
they see you as damaged goods. Call it what it is.
Yeah, he's still seen as the NBA player, and whether he has 1 kid or 5, just because he's financially able to take care of them, they don't see the kids attached to his.
I heard these like Kevin Samuels, Brittany Renner thing. I still haven't had this be definitely 100% locked and loaded. Heard it was true, whatever, but I'll do a little Googling while we still here to see. But I've heard that, but I don't know. A relationship? You think Kevin got in a relationship with her? That's I'm like, okay, hold on. Her and Kevin?
His head, because usually the kids are with the mom.
Yeah.
So is there resentment from that? Because I'm pretty sure like there's like chicks are listening to you and they're like, well, I'm not going out like Brittany. I'm still DMing that nigga right now. What's up? You know what I mean? Is there a little bit of resentment from that? Because now your lifestyle has to change. You're primarily with the child, and you're probably still watching him whatever the fuck you want to do.
I don't think it's resentment towards PJ, and it's I feel like it's almost like counterproductive to even just have resentment, period. But I think if there was resentment towards anything, it would be society. It's because we, you know, you see me as damaged goods, but you see him still as, well, he's still a high value man. But it's like, I can take care of myself. I'm beautiful. I still have some to offer. I'm not like, it's like I'm like the old toy that gets back, you know, puts back on the shelf. Like I'm nothing now.
Like
because
Toy Story.
yeah, it's like, like I'm not good enough. Like I'm not good enough to play with anymore. And I think that's the only resentment I have. It's not towards PJ. It's just more towards like, how come I still can't be seen as a woman of value just because I have a child? You know, like if I'm a single mom, well, then there's single dads. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, what are we saying here? So
it's like then we look for equality in those things, and it will never be equal. It will not. It will always be single mama and not single dad. That just is what it is. Because it's all, if still the choice is still on the woman. You said Nicole, she did Donovan Sharp made a YouTube breakdown. Okay. All right. So they saying that Donovan Sharp. Okay, so we're looking at that too. Okay. So y'all saying that it might have been something. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, they were out and about, but
I think that's the only resentment I have. Like, I genuinely feel like people can come together, create something great, like a beautiful child, and not be together. And I think that PJ will find his person when it's time, just like my person will find me when it's time.
I think there's a lot of ego, though. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I think
With
about
what?
like somebody who's a single mom, like I feel offended that she had a kid with another nigga, not me first. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I just can't tolerate it.
I feel
Keep it 100 with you. It's just something. It also makes me feel like I'm a cleanup hitter.
Yeah.
And like, you know, the ego of man is that we're the first pick. We're never the fallback.
let's look at this really, really quick. I'm almost about done with this video. Okay, it's reporting that once hot and heavy relationship between Instagram NBA player is now on the fritz. Indeed, it was a good month ago reporting he was taking on shopping sprees and gifted her with a sports car. Well, now she's moving back in with her mom, and as work starts, Will Samuels had that repossessed. So this is saying here that she was with Kevin for real, for real. Y'all, I didn't even think this was true. What's she saying in this?
So moved into my new place today. Y'all, when I tell you I've been thugging, okay? Like, been living with my mom and my sister. It's me, my mom, my sister, my baby. I mean, because, you know, 2.5 months when I decided to leave, maybe it was 2.5 months old, I didn't have anywhere to go. I didn't even have a car. I still don't have a car. I got rid of my car, you know, because, you know, empty promises, whatever.
All of these things she did was by choice. She had herself out there like she was just broke living with a guy and she got everything taken away. I've seen this video. I don't know about the Kevin Samuels and all that. Hey, who knows? But yeah. We're done with the fresh and the fit and the Brittany Renner, y'all. We are good on that front. All right. It's your girl. Welcome to China. I am here and I am done. I got to get going, y'all. I got some more reactions to do. I got some work to take care of. And my camera is all the way. Here I am. Anyway, I'm not going to fix it for right now. I got out of here fairly quickly and abruptly, y'all. But hey, it's your girl. Welcome to China. Let me know anything else y'all want me to react to. This was a long video, longest yet, y'all. So hit that subscribe button on my way to 2.5 subscribers, 1,000. Let me say that. And I'll see you guys later. Your girl is tired. My lips is dry. Bye-bye.